Roberto Mancini has just said that today can change Mario Balotelli's season, the troubled City striker. And Sir Alex Ferguson's been talking about Rio Ferdinand's preparations. Ferdinand's wife went into labour at 2 o'clock this morning. He had to travel from London to Manchester and back again in time for the kick-off, but we don't know about any baby, but we'll let you know as soon as we know. Graham Taylor's with us, Robbie Savage is with us, Mike Ingham's with us, and to start the game, FA Cup semi-final day here at Wembley, here's Alan Green.
Well, Wembley is split beautifully down the middle. It's blue to the right, red to the left, mirroring the positions the two teams have taken up prior to the start of this FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City in their sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks, and this is their starting 11. 4 changes from the team that was demolished at Anfield last Monday night. Most significantly, of course, the absence of the injured Carlos Tevez. Boyata, Milner and Dzeko also drop out. Into the team Zabaleta, De Jong, Silva and Balotelli. The goalkeeper is Hart. The defence is Zabaleta, Company, the captain, Lescott and Kolarov. Then the 3 in midfield, De Jong, Yaya Toure and Barry. And then Johnson and Silva either side of Balotelli. Manchester United with 3 changes from their Champions League triumph over Chelsea. Rooney, of course, suspended for the game today, but surprisingly Hernandez left out of the starting 11 and Giggs doesn't figure at all, either in the team or on the bench. Into the starting 11, Valencia, Scholes and Berbatov. The goalkeeper is Van der Sar. The defence, O'Shea, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. Then it could be 3-3 ahead of that back 4. If so, let's give it in that formation. Scholes, Carrick and Park. And then finally Valencia, Berbatov and Nani. But it could be 4-5-1, Robbie.
Yes, it could be, Alan. It could be. I'm looking forward to it. A very good game. I want to see Manchester City attack United and really go for it. I was disappointed with them at Anfield in the week. You know, Roberto's got this philosophy in the bigger games to hold back, and I just hope we have a great spectacle on a great occasion.
Well, mysteriously De Jong was left out of the starting 11 at Anfield, and boy didn't they miss him.
Yeah, he's, for me, with Company, you know, and Tevez, the spine of the team, and without them, you know, City did look very poor. Obviously Tevez missing today, De Jong's back with Company and a good goalkeeper. I think City have got a chance.
Well, it's 30 years since Manchester City last appeared in the FA Cup final, and since then it's just like a second home for Manchester United, their opposition today. The referee is Mike Dean, and it will be Manchester United kicking off in their red shirts, white shorts and black and red socks. Berbatov, the only out-and-out striker that we can be sure of, but at the moment Valencia standing towards the right touchline, Nani towards the left, and they will support Berbatov as often, as much as possible. Referee just waiting for television as always. That's why we're kicking off at this ridiculous time in London on a Saturday with 2 Manchester clubs. Heaven help those on the train on the way back tonight. We're underway at Wembley, and it's Ferdinand whose mind must partially be thinking of what's going on with his wife, who's in labour back in Manchester. Now the captain, Vidic up towards the halfway line and just chips it away towards the left side. Good control by Berbatov. Then Company tackles him. The ball breaks off the Bulgarian and it's out of play for a throw in to Manchester City. I think they had hoped to play Richards at right back, Robbie, but a City source told me that he wasn't quite right in training yesterday.
I seen him before the game, Alan. The Tunnel had a good chat with him. He said he's not fit. So that's a big blow, because I thought he'd done exceptionally well. Just interesting to see how City have lined up. Balotelli with Toure just off him, Johnson on the right, you know, and Silva floating about everywhere. So it's attacking formation.
Well, here is Yaya Toure feeding the ball towards the left side, and it's Kolarov. Kolarov onto Yaya Toure again. It was not a good ball from the fullback, and Yaya Toure couldn't keep it in play. It's behind for a goal kick. The other absentee that got me in the Liverpool game was Silva.
Yeah, maybe he was thinking of this game especially, but it was a big game too, and he got it wrong, and he admitted it, Roberto.
Here's Company playing the ball back to Joe Hart, now familiar, the Manchester City goalkeeper with Wembley Stadium, because he's the England goalkeeper, of course. Company, the captain, out to Lescott. Lescott steps away from Park. and flicks it forward to Barry. Barry onto Yaya Toure, who plays it to the right side. Right, here's Adam Johnson. Big day for Adam Johnson, hugging that far right touchline, playing it back to De Jong. The action is inside the Manchester United half. Shall we break it down to United and City now and leave out the word Manchester? I think for the sake of our vocal cords, that's probably sensible. So it's City in possession. Company to the Argentine. Zabaleta on the far side of the field, and he feeds it down the right touchline. It's still in play, but Ferdinand's across there to win possession for United.
The way both teams have lined up, Alan, is Park's good against Barry, Scholes against De Jong, and Carrick against Toure. So they've matched each other up and they've given each other a lot of respect.
Here's Carrick. I hope there's not too much respect, because that could lead to a dull semi-final. Don't forget, tomorrow Bolton and Stoke kick off at 4 o'clock. Here's Valencia for Manchester United, playing it infield towards Berbatov, headed away by Company, and then Lescott hits it over the halfway line, and Ferdinand's waiting for it. I was waiting for the train at Macclesfield Station yesterday, Robbie, and all very quiet on the platform, and then I thought I noticed certain familiar figures coming through the entrance. It was the United team. Of course, I was in first class. They were in economy.
I was going to say they must have joined you in first class.
No chance. No chance. Here's Ferdinand. Ferdinand, 20 yards short of the halfway line. To Park, cautious, opening 3 minutes here at Wembley. The most vocal fans at the moment are the Manchester City supporters. Here's Nani. Nani miscontrols it. Lescott takes the ball off him. Plays it back to Zabaleta. Out to Adam Johnson. Back to Zabaleta, and I think it's going to Hart. It is. Back to Joe Hart. An inflatable ball being bounced around amongst the City fans in front of us. Great colour at Wembley. All, of course, sky blue and red. Barry heads the ball up towards the edge of the centre circle. Balotelli heads it down. Yaya Toure feeds an awkward pass back. De Jong struggles to keep it in City's possession, and then he's helped out by Lescott. The flag's up for offside, though, against Nani, and it should be a free kick to Manchester City.
Lescott started exceptionally well, and he's done a trick on Park, went past him, he's won his headers, and he's got a good blocking. So I think Lescott started exceptionally well. You know, not everybody's cup of tea, but he started very well.
Sir Alex Ferguson in the stand, of course, today. Here's Berbatov winning the ball off City, and then easily robbed of possession. De Jong flicks it away towards this near side to Silva. Berbatov gets to his feet. There's no harm done in the challenge on him. It's hit upfield by City, but easily headed back by Vidic to Van der Sar. And already I suspect too much respect.
Yeah, there is, but you know, Paul Scholes has got away one there. He's lunged in late at De Jong, caught De Jong. You know, Paul Scholes won't show anybody respect. He'll get amongst it. You know, you can probably expect a yellow card from Scholes there. He won't respect anybody. He'll play how he's always played. But as you say, it's just the game hasn't got going at all. You have too much respect.
Not at all. For years I used to say about Paul Scholes that, you know, he doesn't know how to tackle, perhaps. Actually, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a thoroughly bad tackler, Paul Scholes. Here's Carrick. On now to Nani. Just over the halfway line, left of the centre circle. He's got Evra to his left. It's a poor ball by Nani. Straight to Zabaleta. Zabaleta under pressure out of the Portuguese. Zabaleta turning back and almost got Company into trouble. In fact, he did get Company into trouble. Zabaleta helps him out though. Heads it to De Jong. And now here's Lescott. Lescott on to De Jong, who's wearing strapping around his left wrist. On to David Silva. He'll be a key player for Manchester City here at Wembley. Silva, good ball forward to Barry. The return pass wasn't so good, but Silva still has possession. A little over 5 minutes gone. 0-0. United and City here at Wembley Stadium. United win the ball back. It's with Paul Scholes. On to Park. Carrick. Park again. Good football by United. I thought Carrick was caught late there by Balotelli. Mike Dean didn't see that. And now that was a lunge on Valencia by Kolarov. The referee, Mike Dean, plays advantage. United still have the ball. O'Shea down the right side, already midway inside the City half. O'Shea approaching the penalty. Then he checks. Plays it back to Valencia. Valencia now to Carrick. And Carrick towards the far side. And Scholes, first of all. Everett's available. Scholes, though, looked to the right and then overhit the pass towards Valencia wildly. And it's behind for a goal kick.
You've got to think in a game like this when both teams are sitting off each other, who in each team has got that bit of magic? I think United and their team have got more match winners than City. You look at City's team, Silva, yes, possibly. Maybe Adam Johnson. Balotelli, unknown. You look at United, Valencia, Nani, Berbatov, Scholes. So if this game continues in this mode, I expect a United, with that extra bit of flair to break City open.
If it carries on like this, we'll be nodding off before half-time. I'm glad to see Mike Dean had a word with Kolarov there. He didn't let him get away with that challenge on Valencia. Ticked off the full-back, so you've got to not do it again or he will be yellow carded. We've got to throw in on the near side of the field. 7 minutes play. 0-0. O'Shea for Manchester United throws into Carrick. Back to O'Shea. And now it's back to Rio Ferdinand. Infield to the captain, Vidic. Vidic now, not even at walking pace. Stops. Turns back. Looks towards Van der Sar. And is played to Van der Sar. And we haven't had anything remotely threatening to either penalty area in the opening 7.5 minutes. The clearance by Van der Sar towards the right to Valencia. Valencia just gets it to Berbatov, and then Berbatov's return pass was poor, and it's through to Joe Hart. Interestingly, both Wayne Rooney and Ryan Giggs are sitting in the dugout for Manchester United today.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Ryan Giggs not involved at all. I'm just, he might have picked up injury midweek, or they're saving him for the game on Tuesday, but knowing Ryan Giggs as I do, he would have wanted to play.
Not to be involved on the bench is almost inexplicable. But I'm sure Sir Alex knows what he's doing. You'd think. He didn't have any choice, of course, with Wayne Rooney. This is the second of his 2-match suspension for swearing directly at a camera. And it's played through now towards Balotelli, but it was a poor pass by Yaya Toure. Van der Sar anticipated it well, quickly out, and clears it out of play on the far side of the field for a throw-in to Manchester City. The United fans, well, they've been here so often before, they're just sort of sitting back and saying, well, we'll wait for cause to be excited. At the moment, the noise is coming predominantly from the Manchester City supporters. Joe Hart's clearance upfield. Vidic partially clears it. De Jong got the ball to Silva. Now it's back to Barry. And here's Lescott. There's not enough tempo about the game at the moment. It's very, very sluggish. De Jong plays it to Balotelli. Left now to Barry. Barry in the sort of left back position. Into Balotelli again. Balotelli came on a substitute in Anfield and was so good he was then substituted, and that's a terrible crossfield ball which Zabaleta has to handle to bring it under control. Not unreasonably, it's a free kick to United.
It's like at the minute, you have it, we'll have it, until you get in the opposition half 30, 50 yards from goal, then you can't get through both teams. It's so tight, so hard, no space at all on the pitch, and the game needs a goal. That's a silly thing to say, but it does, because it's walking pace. I could play in this.
Oh no, don't exaggerate, Robbie. It's not that bad. In the Premier League earlier, Birmingham 2, Sunderland 0, Blackpool 1, Wigan 3, Everton 2, Blackburn 0, West Brom 1, Chelsea 3, and West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2, which means the bottom 3 in the Barclays Premier League tonight, looking up from the bottom, Wolves, West Ham and Blackpool. Manchester United have the ball just outside the City penalty area, but then there's a foul by Nani, who's writhing in agony. I don't know whether it's his face, his ankle, his shin, his midriff.
He's holding his face, Alan, now, so it'll be interesting to see the replay.
Does it mean anything?
No, well, we'll see in the replay.
Well, he's gone down. Oh, it was a terrible blow to his face. Absolutely shocking. Not. Oh, actually, De Jong, right at the last minute, lunged his studs at Nani and actually raked them down Nani's cheek.
You can either say De Jong's meant that, or the, his foot coming down has caught his face. It's difficult one to tell.
Could we possibly say that the De Jong who thrust his boot into the chest of Alonso in the World Cup final could be guilty of anything as bad as that?
I think that was the momentum of his foot coming down, if I'm being honest there. Yeah. I don't think he's intentionally raked his studs down his face.
Anyway, here's Adam Johnson with a limp shot wide of goal. I thought, initially, when it's Nani, the trouble with Nani is nobody believes him when he goes down as if he's injured. And it was right at the last minute that De Jong put the studs into his face.
I just think that De Jong went for a tackle, his studs were in the air, and his feet have got to go somewhere. And unfortunately for Nani, they've come down on his face. Very unfortunately.
Sir Alex just issuing an instruction from his seat in the stand down to the dugout. And I think it's an instruction to Scholes, get that boy De Jong. Well, could be. I'm just interpreting it that way. 0-0 between City and United, and it's pretty awful so far. Here's Scholes, heading in the direction of Nani. Zabaleta was slow to get there. Nani initially kept it in play, and then Zabaleta puts it behind. It's going to be a corner to Manchester United.
A great ball from Scholes there. You know, his vision, you know, pinged it 50 yards over the fullback, and Nani chased into the corner and won the corner. Good play from Nani.
At the City end of Wembley today. That's the end to our right. Nani's red shirt almost lost in the blue on the far side as he comes forward and takes the corner in. Punched clear by Joe Hart. Valencia lets it run out of play. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United.
Alan is still doing the zonal marking. I can't believe for how many times they conceded there's still zonal marking, Man City.
Valencia is throwing to Berbatov. He's been very quiet so far. Berbatov, supported by O'Shea, gets it back though to Scholes. And Scholes hits it to the captain, Vidic, inside the centre circle. Vidic on to Evra on the far side of the field. 12 and a half forgettable minutes have been played at Wembley in the first of the FA Cup semi-finals, sponsored by Eon. City 0, United 0. Here's Vidic, just feeding the ball back to Van der Sar. Van der Sar out now to Ferdinand, back to Van der Sar. Van der Sar feeds it to Carrick now. Carrick with Scholes ahead of him, but not being put under any pressure at all. He just plays the ball to his left to Vidic, and Vidic chips it into the City half towards Park. Park gets it back to Nani. Nani's pass to Evra was behind the French fullback, but it's still in United's possession. Vidic to Ferdinand, and it's so slow. Well, it's actually boring.
With Balotelli as the one up front, he's not really going to shut the centre half down. If Tevez was playing, he'd be ratting at Vidic, ratting at Ferdinand. People would go in behind him, but with Balotelli, he's not going to do that. So they're going to be deep all day, Manchester City.
Well, there were many who were hoping that City and United would be kept apart in the draw for the FA Cup semi-finals, thinking what a marvellous occasion Wembley would have with a Manchester derby. That's not the evidence from this semi-final so far. O'Shea on to Valencia. Valencia with two players marking him. One is Silva. Silva took the ball off him and then fell over. He thinks he should get a free kick, but I think the assist from the near side is absolutely right to throw in to Manchester United, which O'Shea takes to Park. Park chips it into the penalty area, easily headed away by Lescott. Back by Barry to Lescott. Not a good clearance. Scholes into Berbatov onside. Brilliant save by Hart. The first meaningful action of the game. Berbatov knows he should have scored, but it was a great save by Hart.
That's come from Gareth Barry. They'll try to take too many touches.
Ball's inside the penalty area again into Berbatov, who actually clips it over the crossbar from 3 yards.
Wow, what the game's livened up now. Great play from United. Instantly Barry messing around with it, should have just smashed it into Earl's head. Great save off Joe Hart, and then Zabaleta dilly-dally on it. Nani, great skill. Great ball across, and it's a wonderful, wonderful tackle by, I'm sure it was Lescott. Lescott started this game impeccably well. Berbatov should have scored. Should United have upped the pace?
Well, Berbatov is receiving treatment for the moment. The first one he should have scored. I'm not sure about Lescott's involvement in the second challenge. We'll see it now. But Berbatov, no, it's a ridiculous miss by Berbatov.
Yeah, it was actually Kolarov as well, put him under pressure. Berbatov has missed an absolute sitter there. Didn't go with any conviction. Is that lack of games? If he was playing every week, would he score that? But Kolarov's put him off, but Berbatov should have scored.
Rooney put his head into his hands, and really he had two magnificent opportunities to put Manchester United in front, and is sadly lacking.
Surely that's got to wake Manchester City up, though. They've carried on from Anfield. Come on, Manchester City, get out your blocks, have a go.
Berbatov's back on the pitch, having received a little bit of treatment, but Hernandez is already warming up on the near side of the field. I was really surprised to find Hernandez not in the starting 11.
Well, as a player, Alan, Hernandez has not played in the semi-final FA Cup yet. He's on a roll, he's scoring goals. You know, Hernandez would have scored that chance, I think.
I'd have scored it.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
City 0, United 0. It was 3 yards. Ronnie Rosenthal would not have missed from there. 3 ridiculous yards for Berbatov to miss from. Ball is back with Joe Hart. Applause for Joe Hart for that first Great save from Berbatov. The ball is now with Van der Sar, who throws it out underarm. Well, we needed something to waken us up here at Wembley, and Manchester United twice close to scoring the opening goal, but didn't take the opportunities, or at least Berbatov didn't take the opportunities.
Look around the Manchester City team. Torre's not had a touch. Silva's been ineffective. Johnson, you will know, is on the field. Balotelli's not touched the ball. And you look at Nani, Valencia, Berbatov, they're getting more involved. I just can't see, unless Manchester City do something radically different today, how on earth, in a chance to get to an FA Cup final, they're going to progress, because they're just negative.
And when Berbatov reacted in particular to his second miss, I'm reasonably convinced he swore, not in Bulgarian. Now there's a push by Balotelli on Ferdinand. There was never any real danger of the United goal. Free kick awarded. It's taken quicker. Scholes on now to Valencia, just on the right edge of the centre circle. Good football. Back by Carrick to Scholes. Scholes hits it forward. Nani made a run into the penalty area. The important header down by Company, and the clearance by Lescott up to the centre circle. And back into Manchester United's possession. Nearly 18 minutes played here on 5 Live. City 0, United 0 in the first of the 2 FA Cup semi-final. Tomorrow's Bolton and Stoke kicks off at 4 o'clock at full commentary here on 5 Live, of course. Here's Ever on the far side of the field. To Nani in the orange boots. Down the United left flank. Back to Vidic. On to Carrick. And Carrick plays it towards Evra. Good control by Evra. Oh, well, I thought it was good control, but actually too far away to judge correctly. He didn't bring the ball under proper control. It allowed Zabaleta to make a challenge. He puts it out of play for a throw into United.
Michael Carrick's had a resurgence in the later stages.
Last couple of months.
Yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic, and fair play to him. A lot of critics, but he's got his head down. He's worked extremely hard, and he's getting the rewards now.
Here's Nani. On to Evra. Evra back to Vidic. Vidic to Scholes. Sitting very deep at the moment. Scholes steps away from Yaya Toure. Plays it to the left to Evra. And on now to Ji-sung Park, the Korean. Park tried to roll the ball past Zabaleta. Zabaleta got a touch, and it's out for a throw into Manchester United, who are certainly dominating the opening 20 minutes here at Wembley. The throw-in is taken. Ball breaks to Carrick into the penalty area. Carrick's shot was blocked by Barry. Rebounds to O'Shea. O'Shea's shot was weak, was probably off target, and now it should be run away by Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure still inside his own half, and he weakly played the ball forward. It hit Carrick and squirts away into the possession of Nani.
It just looks like the game's passing them by, Alan. Manchester City players. Somebody needs to get the game by the scruff of the neck. That's where they need the Tevez.
Good run by Nani down the far touchline rather than the left, and then he's foul tackled by Yaya Toure, and it's a free kick to Manchester United, about 3 or 4 inches in from the left touchline. And look, City just static. Scholes made the run, and inevitably the free kick was played to him. And United now cross the ball in from the left side. It's headed away by Lescott behind for a corner.
Yeah, City are all over the place. It's just, Balotelli's their furthest forward player when they attack, and he's 20 yards, just in his own heart. Like, it's ridiculous. Just get out, City.
20 minutes gone. We await the first goal of the FA Cup semi-final. Corner to United, taken by Valencia to Park. Back to Valencia. Valencia chips that cross in toward the far post. Berbatov heads the ball goalwards, but it was a looping header, and it dropped behind the crossbar. Goal kick to City.
Yeah, United for the first 10 minutes, there was much of a muchness. Since then, United been completely dominant. You can see they've been on this occasion many more times, and they're just, it's comfortable for them. If United score now, I'd fear for City. I think it'd be like Anfield the other night, because City look like the game is passing them by.
Bad news from Monte Carlo, where Rafael Nadal has beaten Andy Murray in 3 sets. Here it's City 0, United 0 in the FA Cup semi-final. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Was that the sun breaking out there? I think we're a little sunshine around Wembley. Mostly cloudy today in London, but pleasantly warm. Van der Sar with a clearance toward the far side of the field. Nani keeps it in play. Back to Vidic. And Scholes. Carrick. Scholes again. Scholes beginning to run the midfield the way Rooney ran midfield the other night against Chelsea in the Champions League. Here's Scholes. Just a lovely pass to the left side to Evra. And on to Nani. And Evra keeps running. Nani's attempted return pass to the fullback, didn't work out, but he got the ball again. Plays it forward now to Evra. Evra wants to fall over and get a free kick. He's not getting even a throw in. Or has the referee awarded a free kick to Manchester City? No, it's just a free kick, is it, Mr. Dean? Free kick. Didn't see what he did wrong there, Nani. Nevertheless, nearly 22 minutes play. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0.
Well, scores are starting to dictate the game, as exactly what I've just said. So if I was Roberto, I'd be screaming onto De Jong, go and stand on scores for 5 minutes. Don't let him pass the ball. He's getting 1-2s. He's spraying everywhere. Somebody's got to do something for Manchester City, or it's going to be too late.
Nani to Berbatov. Lovely layoff by Berbatov to Park. And then Barry dived in, bringing Park down, surely. Yes, it's a free kick. So it's a free kick to Manchester United. No, he didn't give the free kick. And now he's given a foul throw-in against Nani. It looked like a foul tackle by Barry. Anyway, it's still 0-0. It took a long while to wake it up, and long may it continue to wake it up. Mike?
Well, I thought, Alan, for the first 20 minutes or so, it was Inter Milan against Juventus. The pace was so slow. But the thing is, in this game, if you're just joining our commentary on 5 Live, Manchester City are so fortunate still to be locked at 0-0 here with Manchester United, because only one team so far has been playing. City, for much of this season, have been quite a plodding outfit, and it's a similar story out there today. They just don't seem to have the legs at the moment to take on Manchester United, and it's a throw-in down this near side. And I'm really not surprised, Robbie, that Roberto Mancini's just prowling around down there in the technical area, not happy.
I'll tell you what, Mike, this game's been that one-sided. A Manchester City player has not touched the ball within 30 or 40 yards of Van der Sar's goal. That is no exaggeration. That is the truth. They've not touched the ball 40 yards from his goal.
Somehow, City 0, United 0. Berbatov should have scored. He's got the ball on the edge of the area. Comes to Valencia. Valencia hits it straight at Lescott. By the way, the second opportunity that Berbatov missed was a bit like the one Hernandez put away against Chelsea in the Champions League. Swept it in from a couple of yards out. Hernandez at some stage will surely come into this semi-final. The ball is with United. It's been with them virtually the whole game so far. They're playing from left to right. It's Evra. Again, United are also a little slow at times in building. Nani now, left-hand side, faced by Zabaleta. Goes on the outside of Zabaleta. Whips in a high cross, which Kolarov heads away, and there's no communication there at all between him and goalkeeper. It's a corner.
Yeah, no communication. The back four, I think Lescott and company are doing well, but Zabaleta and Kolarov on the wings, they just seem individuals playing in the back four.
City have hardly crossed the halfway line here. It's a Manchester United corner which Valencia is going to take, and it's been headed wide in the end by the United captain Vidic. So we've played 24 minutes. We've heard from Robbie. Let's hear from Graham Taylor, who's also with us here today. Graham.
Yeah, I mean, any FA Cup semi-final, you're expecting it to be tense and tight, particularly the early moments of the game. Then you're expecting it to start to flow. But you're exactly right, it's only flowed in one team's direction, and that's Manchester United. If Berbatov had scored, and he should have definitely scored from one of them, then I would like to think we would have seen a response from Manchester City. It definitely needs a goal, and it looks at the moment as if it's going to come Manchester United's way, because they're the team that's playing with much more expression than Manchester City are.
Thank you, Graham. City will cross the halfway line. Rare moment inside United's half. It's Johnson down the right-hand side into Silva. They'll be expecting much more from him when he gets on the ball. Now Zabaleta halfway inside the United half. On to Yaya Toure. They're actually passing it around now, City. And here comes Gareth Barry. Barry's ball in towards Balotelli, but straight at Van der Sar. But at least City had a bit of possession there. But, we've been talking about the fact that United are more used to perhaps the big occasion, but City got players who've played here for England. Barry, Lescott, Hart, Johnson. De Jong's played in a World Cup final. They shouldn't really be faced by this, but they are, clearly. And Scholes finds Vidic in the heart of the United defence, and he knocks it back again to Van der Sar, who's yet to win the FA Cup. This is his last chance. And now Ferdinand, he hasn't won the FA Cup either. Ferdinand strikes it across the field. It's a great ball, straight to the feet of Nani. Berbatov ahead of him. Nani moves in, and Adam Johnson follows him. Nani still, and then he's denied by Zabaleta, and City again have possession. Now De Jong into Balotelli inside the centre circle. Balotelli onto Silva. This is suddenly better from City, but there's no shape here from City at the moment. They need some width. It's De Jong once more. On to Yaya Toure. Again, it's a bit pedestrian, the build-up. They're slowing things down. Then it's long from De Jong. O'Shea sees that one sailing away for a goal kick to Manchester United. Robbie?
Yeah, they get the ball around the park. Johnson's cut inside. Silva's cut inside. Balotelli's dropping deep. They've got no ball on. You know, you've got to play with width. You've got to get the ball wide. It's very negative from Roberto Mancini's team. I'm a big advocate of Roberto Mancini and, you know, the way he's trying to play his football and get this Manchester City team to the new level. But this is not good enough for Manchester City, I'm afraid.
City 0, United 0 in the semi-final of the FA Cup. I thought, in terms of the atmosphere, it was very similar to the last cup occasion here between Birmingham and Arsenal. And then Arsenal have been so many times. It meant so much more to the Blues of Birmingham. Certainly did to the City fans before the kick-off. They're a bit subdued at the moment, even though they're trying to sing their anthem, Blue Moon, trying to encourage their side as Ferdinand sends the ball back again to Van der Sar, and Van der Sar clears. On to Vidic now. Vidic for Scholes. Scholes playing in his 24th Manchester derby. Bit of speculation as well during the week that it could be his last. We'll have to wait and see what's on his mind at the end of the season. Long one now from Vidic down the centre. Berbatov in with the central defenders. Scholes will pick up the loose ball. Paul Scholes for Manchester United. Finds Valencia near side the right. Kolarov backs off. Valencia has got De Jong there as well on the edge of the area. Slips it back. It didn't arrive at Carrick's feet, but he manages to... Oh, the referee's given a free kick late. Didn't need to stop the game there. O'Shea had the ball wide right. Could have played an advantage, but he's decided to stop the game. Now, might United benefit from this or not? We'll wait and see.
Well, as a player, I think I'd rather take the free kick in a good shooting position. Well, 25 yards out, then the ball goes wide to Valencia. So as a player currently playing, I think, referee, blow your whistle and give us the free kick. You've got a shooting opportunity from 25 yards out. Mike
Dean's the referee. He's just been ticking off De Jong. This free kick is around about 25 yards or so away from Hart's goal. Maybe slightly less, and it's to the right as we look at it. O'Shea at the moment is turning his back on the City wall. Nani looks the favourite to strike it here for Manchester United. They've had all the possession, they've played all the football so far, but it's still 0-0 at Wembley in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Nani 3 or 4 yards from the ball. Here he comes. Nani takes a deflection off a City defender, and it'll be a corner kick for United near side.
Yeah, it was a poor free kick from Nani. Tried to hit it, you know, like Ronaldo does on the valve of the ball, so you know, with his instep, so it does all this movement. But it was a poor free kick and a good strong wall from Manchester City. But again, there's zonal marking.
So Valencia to take the United corner. Park stands in front of the goalkeeper. It's a deep corner, headed wide in the end by Dimitar Berbatov. And you know, we were talking about this game beforehand, Robbie, and I thought for City and Mancini and their season, this was really going to be a defining day. If they couldn't get up for this one, they would never get up for it. But so far we wait and see. You know, we're still waiting for them to deliver, aren't we, in the game?
Yes, we are. As I said, there's nothing worse than a player than coming off a football field after a game thinking, I could have done more. And as the game's going, every one of them City players, with the exception of Joe Hart, be thinking, I could have done more today.
O'Shea wins the header, the right back for Manchester United, and it's out of play off Lescott. But it's all safety first from City at the moment, just trying to stay in the game. It was a very disappointing game between the two of them at Eastlands earlier in the season, and 0-0. Then, of course, Rooney's overhead kick won the game at Old Trafford. Berbatov is off the field at the moment, receiving attention. It's a different injury this time. It seems to be a facial problem. So they're just at the moment down to 10 men. As Hernandez again warms up, we will see him, I'm sure, at some point in this game. 0-0 and into the last 15 minutes of a disappointing first half. Again, walking pace from United. Berbatov still off the field. Vidic now. High one, too high for Nani. They just seem to be buying time here before Berbatov can get back on the pitch again.
Yeah, I think he's having smelling salts. He's got a nosebleed. To be fair, I can smell them smelling salts from up here with the size of my nose, Mike.
Well, you'd have backed him to score one of those two, Robbie, wouldn't you? Leading goal scorer in the Premier League.
Maybe like a game.
And the thing is, you know, what in a sense, the game needs that, because then it would have drawn City out, wouldn't it? They'd have had to have responded.
But we shouldn't be saying that, Mike. Should draw City out. City should think, you know, it's a semi-final. Come on, let's have a go. And you'd much rather have a player with a massive heart and a little bit of ability than a player with all the ability in the world who looks like he's not trying a leg.
Not one City player at the moment is taking responsibility out there. They're all giving the ball away quickly when it comes to them. Even David Silva, who's such a talented player, immediately he gets it, he's giving it away straight away. Not holding it, not taking people on. Now Zabaleta over on the right hand side. Berbatov's back in the game. Now here's Silva. Silva looking for Johnson, that maybe shuffles in field. Still Silva, left-footed ball in the area. Chance here perhaps for City. Shot driven in by Barry. Oh, it hits the side netting. Left-footed from Barry. From the angle, it looked as if it was going to creep in, and that's by far and away City's best moment.
This is why everybody loves football. City not in the game. David Silva gets on the ball, shows a bit of responsibility for the first time anybody from Man City player, goes past one or two, whips a great ball in the box, and Barry on the swivel, just wide. I think Van der Sar would have saved it, but it's better for Manchester City. Their first shot, 32 minutes on the clock, and he got a cheer.
And it was the first time really Silva got hold of the ball, and at the end of it City almost scored. And United didn't defend it particularly well, the cross when it came in. Now throw to City far side, 0-0 in the Cup semi-final. I'll remind you of the main scores this afternoon, just in case you've been out, in a moment when there's a chance. Some dramatic scorelines in the Premier League today. City now getting a little bit more of possession, back inside their half. They're playing from right to left here. It's Lescott of City. United just backing off. Lescott now to Company, who has had an excellent season at the back for City. Zabaleta now in the absence of Richards. On to Adam Johnson. Left-footed ball from Johnson. Long towards Balotelli. Ferdinand should reach it first. Yaya Toure now picks it up in midfield. Looking for Johnson maybe on the outside. He finds him. This is much better from City. Johnson goes round Evra. And then City managed to keep the possession somehow. Johnson again, headed out by Vidic. Suddenly a bit more pressure from Manchester City, and they've got to throw it. This is a bit better from them.
Yeah, that started from Balotelli's move, and De Jong got the ball. Balotelli went towards the ball, spun in behind. I tell you what, he's got very good movement, but Balotelli, watching him from up here, and you know, if the City players can look up a bit earlier, he's been in once or twice, but it's Silva, that man, who's getting this game by the scruff of the neck.
Well, they have been a bit encouraged by that Gareth Barry moment, and here now goes Lescott inside the United half. 0-0 in the Cup semi-final at Wembley. Lescott back to the halfway line, and now Collar off the fullback, near side the left. Good ball in field to Balotelli. Number 45 on his back. Balotelli tries a shot from distance, and Van der Sar fisted away for a corner kick. Terrific power from Balotelli.
Brilliant turn. Got in the hole where Vidic and Ferdinand didn't want to go. Got the ball in the half turn, one touch, and he has unleashed a rocket, you know, straight at Van der Sar. Well, these balls, they move all over the place with a comfortable save, but good play from Balotelli.
Suddenly they are arriving in this semi-final, City. It's 0-0 still. Corner kick to them, and it's a poor one, and it doesn't hit the penalty area, and it's back on the halfway line now with Manchester City and Nigel de Jong. 0-0. Gareth Barry for Manchester City. On to Silva. United dangerously backing off. Silva picked the wrong option though. He played it down the left. Lescott didn't read his intentions. United clear, but suddenly a bit of pressure from City, and United give the ball away once more. Back inside City's half with the Dutchman de Jong. Good ball to the far side of the field. City suddenly settling down here with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Down that right hand side. Good first touch from Balotelli. Balotelli over on the right touchline. Infield to Yaya Toure. City building 25 yards away from Van der Sar's goal. Not a challenge coming in yet from Manchester United. Yaya Toure cuts the ball back to Silva. Silva square to Johnson. Johnson trying to turn around Ji-sung Park. Still Adam Johnson into the penalty area for City. Johnson trying to pull the ball in, and he's won a corner kick off United's John O'Shea. Much better from City.
What he done, he run at the heart of the, United defence, cut wide. Nobody wants to touch him in the box. You can't touch him. Stayed on their feet, and he's won a corner. City much more in this game now.
Johnson takes a clever corner into the area. Silva dragged it back, and Vidic was there to concede another one.
United went to sleep there, Mike.
Well, they really did. They didn't pick up Silva at all, and Johnson was alert. United certainly weren't at the back, and it's another corner to Manchester City. Lescott's gone forward with Company. Still 0-0 in the semi-final, and then Lescott got there with a volley, but he hit it too well, really, into the United fans behind Van der Sar's goal. Now, here are the scores from the Premier League today. Birmingham 2, Sunderland 0, Blackpool 1, Wigan 3, Everton 2, Blackburn 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, Chelsea 3, West Ham 1, Villa 2, a late winner for Villa. In Scotland, Rangers beat St Mirren 2-1, and in the Scottish Cup, an easy win for Motherwell 3-0 against St Johnstone in that early kick-off. Those were the big scores. More on the action at half-time during this FA Cup semi-final. We'll be here tomorrow for Bolton against Stoke, as now Kolarov doesn't really tidy up very well for City, and it's Berbatov for Manchester United. Good ball onto Park, doesn't control it first time. City clear, they look to Silva, but he was a little slow to react. Valencia for Manchester United, moving towards the penalty area. 2 City players in the way, gets it to Park. Park's weak shot, Hart saves easily.
That's come from Silva, not going into a tackle. He's bottled out of a tackle there against O'Shea. He's seen O'Shea coming, didn't fancy it. He's won the ball. Good press from United. Going back to the corner before, Lescott's got a free shot, Mike, from 18 yards out. He's got to do better for me.
Robbie Savage with us, able to be with us here today because Derby play on Monday night at QPR in the Championship, and now it's Paul Scholes just on the halfway line. Suddenly a bit more competitive as Mancini comes out once more, hands in pockets. Doesn't want his team playing so deep, of course, inviting United on and inviting trouble. Valencia now infield to Carrick. Carrick to Scholes. Scholes down the centre towards Nani. Challenge came in, which Company has been penalised for by Mike Dean. Free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, Nani goes down, he wins fouls, he draws fouls. It's hardly a touch, but to be fair to him, he does it well, and it's irritating watching players go down. I suppose I made a living out of it, Mike.
Paul Scholes for Manchester United. We just won a good game here, and it's warming up a little bit more, but still a little bit left to be desired here. Now Nani spins away from Barry. No, he doesn't. United very tight for them in midfield. Scholes drifts the ball, typical Scholes with his right foot, finds Valencia down this near side. O'Shea's on the outside. Valencia away from everybody from United in the penalty area, but Evra will pick it up on the far side. Scholes once more, faced by Yaya Toure. Back again now to Manchester United, and it's Carrick who's had such a good run just lately. Carrick almost found Scholes in the penalty area. Shot is hammered in by Nani, well wide in the end, doesn't trouble Joe Hart. Goal kick to Manchester City. Yeah,
De Jong done well there, tracking back Scholes. The header onto the edge of the box, and Nani with an ambitious volley from 20 yards, well past the post. But it's settled down. I think City have got over their nerves. They've come into the game a lot more, but the game needs a goal.
City's first semi-final for 30 years since they last reached the final under John Bond. Those were the days when they used to play semi-finals at Villa Park, and City duly won their semi-final after extra time against Ipswich. I think it was the first semi-final ever to go into extra time. Paul Powell with the goal. 0-0 here today. Valencia back to Carrick in United's midfield. Carrick with a long ball, looking to play it over the defenders. Berbatov is given offside, and it's a free kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, this rule's so stupid. Carrick's played a 50-yard pass there. Berbatov's miles offside. They actually wait until he goes to play the ball to flag him offside. Actually, I think he's onside on the replay, but the linesman waits until he touches the ball 5 seconds later. It's a shocking rule.
Well, people have said throughout the time that Mancini's been with City that instinctively he's a cautious manager, coming of course from his Italian background, and his side certainly began incredibly pragmatically in this game, but they're now starting to get more used to the surroundings, and it's 0-0 against Manchester United. One really good effort from Gareth Barry, also Balotelli from long range, and now City win it in midfield. Silva this time gives it early to Balotelli. Balotelli now onto the fullback Kolarov. Kolarov doesn't control it, and he easily loses the ball to Valencia in United's right back position. Carrick now. Carrick knocks it forward to Nani. Nani now looking to release Berbatov. Cross comes Company, and Company does it really well from distance with a back pass to his goalkeeper, and Hart finds Zabaleta.
He's been terrific this season, Company. For me, the first name on the team sheet before Tevez. I think he's been great.
It's a bit more competitive though now, Robbie, isn't it? We've got two teams playing down there.
Yeah, we have, and it's turned into a decent spectacle. The thing there, Colo's on the attack. Balotelli's dropped deep. Even if he crosses it, there's nobody in the box.
Last 5 minutes of the first half. Balotelli today selected ahead of Dzeko, whose only goals for City have been in the FA Cup against Notts County home and away. City needing 2 replays, of course, to get through. They've won all their games to get here at Eastlands this season. And Van der Sar in United's goal will clear now, left to right, into the City half. Berbatov against the man that Robbie was talking about, and Company was always going to get his head to that first, and heads it out, and now United with Michael Carrick. Carrick doesn't normally waste a ball, but he's been fouled there. He falls out of play, appeals for the free kick, and Mike Dean immediately gives it to him.
I think that was just the sheer upper body strength of Yaya Toure. I seen his brother before the game, and I asked him how he was. Obviously he's very upset and disappointed he can't be involved, but he wished his team all the best. And to be fair, they're not missing Kolo Toure today.
Do we know how much longer he's going to be out for? No, it's all gone quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Free kick to Manchester United then, 0-0, last 5 minutes of the first half. And Ferdinand, remember of course, as we say, every year we come here, it has to be settled today. Even if it goes to penalties, that's been United's only semi-final defeat under Sir Alex Ferguson, the penalty defeat here by Everton. And now O'Shea, just in front of Roberto Mancini. Can't get the ball past Silva, and now Barry helps it on its way to the halfway line. Balotelli was really crowded out, but he did well to retain possession. Now Silva's starting to find his players. Here comes Yaya Toure running strongly. Then in the end the challenge came in from Vidic, and it was enough to stop Yaya Toure going any further forward, but at the expense of a corner kick. And just in the last 10 minutes or so, David Silva much more involved. There could be a short corner here. United again have gone to sleep, as they did for the last one. Silva to the unmarked Company shot just wide. Oh, and United are so lucky that they weren't made to pay for that, because that was really poor defending all round.
Great initial play from Yaya Toure in the one-on-one situation against Vidic. Drove at him. Good block from Vidic. There again, United have got to sleep on corners. Played to the edge of the box. Company, great technique, and that is inches past the post. Great play, but Sir Alex Ferguson won't be happy from how quick City are taking the corners, Mike. Poor play from United.
United in the end let off the hook there for their recklessness really defending, and now it's Carrick for Manchester United. 0-0. Berbatov down to Valencia turns, he's got 4 or 5 City players around him, manages to move it on to Berbatov, who wastes that, doesn't get the cross in. United lacking a bit of sharpness here today. Berbatov should have scored, he had a couple of opportunities. Hart saved the first, the second one he put over when he was about 2 or 3 yards out. So we're moving towards half time, a minute and a half to go in this first half, and Mancini now will be feeling a little better about things here.
Yeah, I thought first 20 minutes United were in total control, dominating the game. City hadn't come to the races. Since then, arguably City have been the better team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, as O'Shea and Balotelli both missed the ball. They both look at the referee as well, and Mike Dean says, I don't need to stop the game. United now build once more from the back with Van der Sar. You just wonder whether United have been complacent really a couple of times here with these corners, and whether they think it's just a little bit too easy for them down there. But City a bit more of a threat, and it's O'Shea now for United, infield to Park. Now Carrick, who's just sitting really in front of the back four, spraying passes around. Now he moves forward, he's looking for Evra to make a run on the outside, and he finds him. Here comes Patrice Evra now, down that left hand side for Manchester United, working his way forward, ball into the far post, in goes Valencia, hits the back of Kolarov and wins a corner kick. Really good play from Evra.
Yeah, one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world. Evra gets past Zabaleta, gets past Johnson. Great ball to the back post, and good defending by Kolarov. Roberto will be screaming on, do not concede a goal now.
30 seconds to go of normal time. Fourth officials down there as well. There'll probably be another minute to add on as well. We had a stoppage for Berbatov, and it's Valencia to take a United corner. Scholes lurking. It's a short corner now by United. They find Scholes. Back again to Valencia. Better angle. On to Scholes once more. Carrick available square. Carrick with a dink ball in the area, which doesn't find anyone, but Zabaleta clears poorly. 2 minutes of added time. Nani's dink ball now into Vidic. Vidic won't get there. And that's going to be a goal kick to Manchester City. So we're into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here. 0-0.
United were over elaborate there. Trying to work the ball into the box, ended to nothing. When you've got Manchester City zonal marking, the amount of goals they've conceded this year from set pieces, you've got one of the best headers of the ball in Vidic, who's going to get a free run. Why not put it in the box with 2 minutes to go before half time?
Just got a picture of Sir Alex Ferguson in the stand here. They've got another game in 3 days at Newcastle. I wouldn't imagine he'd really want extra time here today, but at the moment it's going to happen unless we're going to get the deadlock broken by one of these two. It's Carrick for Manchester United, and now Scholes. Good flowing movement from Manchester United. Back comes Silva, but Scholes almost held up, but De Jong comes in with an important challenge. Manchester United now with Nani. City failed to clear. Nani taking the ball down the left hand side, invites the challengers, wins the throw in. Throw to United, level with the edge of the City penalty area. So suddenly United have found another gear right at the end of the first half. Scholes collects from the throw in. Nani again with Evra. And typical Nani, thought he won himself a free kick, turns around in disdain, looks at the referee. It's a goal kick to City, and we have 45 seconds of added time to play here.
Yeah, the game's livened up though, Mike. It's quite a spectacle now.
Well, it needed to.
Yeah, first half, first 20 minutes, United in total control. Last 20 minutes, City have come into the game.
Some of the City fans with their trademark turning their back on the crowd. Poznan celebration, but no goal to celebrate yet. United have the ball, lacking again the width, but they play right down the centre. Carrick, last chance perhaps for United. Carrick's early ball into the area, looking for Berbatov to knock it back. Berbatov brought it down and then knocked it out for a goal kick. Hasn't had a particularly clever first half really, and it's a goal kick again for Joe Hart, and we are right out of time. I make it we play the 2 minutes.
But if you're Berbatov, Mike, you're a top Premier League goal scorer, you're playing as well as you've played, and then you get left out the team. Hernandez goes and the team scores goals, then you don't get your place back. You know, if I was Berbatov, I'd feel a bit aggrieved, to be fair, but he should have scored the chances he's had today, to be fair.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson are likened Hernandez in the build-up to this game to Gary Lineker, and you know exactly where he's coming. It's half-time, sort of opportunity that Lineker would have put away. Certainly Hernandez would have put away. Berbatov missed it. So the half-time score at the end of a strange first half, really. Very slow to get going. It improved a little, but we still need a big improvement in the second half. The half-time score here, Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0.
Graham Taylor with us here as everybody nips off for a half-time cup of tea. I think we agreed that, as he famously once said, the Tottenham manager Sandra Redknapp probably would have scored that one from Berbatov, wouldn't she?
Well, I've never seen Sandra play, but let's assume she would. Most people would have done as well. For me, instead of keeping his body as upright as he could, he threw his leg at it with the thing. You've no real control of it. It was a bad miss because you've got to get into the ball, get your technique right, and it rolls over the line for you, or it goes into the back of the net for you. I mean, all in all, the game started off. I wasn't as disappointed probably in the first 5 or 10 minutes as you could have been, because it wasn't great, but you could sense the tense, you know, that was about. Everybody was very tense. As saying earlier, FA Cup semi-finals, don't want to make a mistake. You understand that for the first 10 minutes. At half-time, it's pretty obvious this game needs a goal to get it going. Manchester City have definitely come on in the final 20 minutes and have done well. I think they need to get Silva and Johnson more involved. If they do that, then I think, you know, they could cause problems to United.
How have they come on? Why have they come on? How have they hauled themselves back into it?
Well, you just wish you could answer that, don't you? I mean, they come out, and Mancini has been accused of this Italian background, making sure you're tight, particularly in those early moments of the game, not giving anything silly away at all. But they just came onto it more and more, and I think they came onto it once they realised, you know, hold on, there are possibilities here for us, and those possibilities were created to a great degree when David Silva and Adam Johnson were involved. That's why I've mentioned, get those two involved, and I think they can create opportunities.
We've just heard about Rio Ferdinand's partner. She had a baby girl in the middle of the night after going into labour at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's got a couple of boys and a girl. That's fantastic, isn't it?
It's great, and I always used to say in my manager, football family first, football second, except on match days. And I think
he's done them both on match days, because
right,
he was back to Manchester at 2 o'clock in the morning. Right, yeah. And I just said to you on a serious note, hang on, he went all the way back to Manchester. Of course, someone's driving him, he can sleep, but still, he wouldn't have had a lot of sleep. But we were both saying that adrenaline is the most wondrous drug.
Yeah. I mean, people say, how can you go up there, back, and he must be feeling terrible. I say, no. Birth of a child, adrenaline, definitely.
He can sleep all day tomorrow and all day Monday. Congratulations to Rio Ferdinand, a baby girl born in the middle of the night. Premier League scores today: Birmingham 2, Sunderland 0, Blackpool 1, Wigan 3, Everton 2, Blackburn 0, West Brom 1, Chelsea 3, West Ham 1, Aston Villa 2. We'll hear from Blackpool manager Ian Holloway and West Ham's Avram Grant shortly. They've both had shocking afternoons. 6 minutes past 6, goalless at Wembley. Dan Maudsley now with the news.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Good evening. 5 NATO soldiers and 5 Afghan troops have been killed in a suicide bombing at an army base near Jalalabad. Reports say the man was wearing an army uniform when he blew himself up at the entrance to the base early this morning. The Taliban has claimed responsibility. The Libyan government has denied using internationally banned cluster bombs during the siege of the western city of Misrata. The American-based group Human Rights Watch says it has seen cluster munitions explode over the city. The M1 in North London will remain closed for several more hours. The Highways Agency says it hopes to open one of the northbound lanes in time for the end of the FA Cup semi-final currently on at Wembley. Nick Clegg has told his party that Lib Dem councils in England are doing a better job of protecting services than Labour and Conservative ones. The Deputy Prime Minister was speaking at a party rally ahead of next month's local elections. And record shops around the country are holding events to celebrate Independent Record Store Day. There have been queues outside shops as music fans try to pick up exclusive limited releases. Well, on to travel, and as you heard in the news, the M1 still closed between Junction 1 at Staples Corner and Junction 4 Edgware because of that fire yesterday morning. The latest is that engineers are assessing the damage, and one lane northbound may reopen in time for the end of the match at Wembley this evening. The southbound, though, likely to stay closed throughout the weekend. Now, on the A1M as well in North Yorkshire, we've got queuing traffic for 2 miles and a lane closed on the exit slip road to the A168. That's northbound. It's due to an overturned car at Dishforth. Also on the A1M, we've got slow traffic in North Yorkshire now because of an accident now on the hard shoulder on the A1M northbound again at junction 56. That's for Barton. In Merseyside, the M62 2 lanes closed and stationary traffic due to an overturned people carrier on the M62 eastbound between Junction 6, that's for the M57, the Tarbuck Island there, and Junction 7, the Rainhill Stoops. The matrix sign's set to 40 miles an hour, so slow moving past that. And on the trains, East Midlands trains in Leicestershire, delays of up to 45 minutes at the moment on East Midlands trains between Leicester and Kettering. That's due to earlier signalling problems. 5 Live Travel.
5 Live Sports Extra.
5 Live sister service available exclusively digitally.
Fantastic shooting position! Finds the back of the net!
Sunday. Kick-off, 4 p.m.
Arsenal take on Liverpool.
That could be the game!
The Premier League on 5 Live Sports Extra. To find out how to receive 5 Live Sports Extra, click bbc.co.uk/5live.
Don't forget 606 with Robbie here and Mark Chapman straight after the game. Lines open now, 0500 909 693. There's live World Championship boxing tonight on 5 Live. Amir Khan defends his WBA light welterweight title against Paul McCloskey at the MEN Arena. Mike Costello and the team on air from 9:45. Well, we're thinking about the FA Cup now, but the Premier League earlier today has witnessed a big shift at the bottom as Wigan won 3-1 at Blackpool. Blackpool drop into the bottom 3. Wigan, who began the day rock bottom, moved up 3 places. Here's Blackpool manager Ian Holloway with Alistair Yeomans.
It's the most frustrating thing, Ian, that the first 2 goals you conceded were avoidable.
Just slightly, yeah. We've just blown both our feet off with a shotgun. We hadn't practiced that on the training ground. We didn't do that, so where that comes from, the first one I don't know. The second one, again, you just throw it down the line. You work it down the line. And we've thrown it inside square and may as well have said to them, go and score 2 and then we'll have a go at you. But the team has to come back. We know where we are now and we got to deal with it. Can we do it? We've got 5 games left and 15 points to fight for.
I know that you demand everybody tries all the time, but you know when you're chasing the game, do people try a bit too hard? Do they just run the ball on a little bit too much? Do they hang on to it a bit too long?
Well, it's decisions. When you're confident, things just happen. When you're not confident, you think about things, and that split-second delay at this level is deadly. At the moment, it's very difficult for the lads because some of the fans want us to stay up, but I can guarantee them that we want to stay up more than they do. Our livelihood is totally changed if we go down. There ain't one of my players who isn't totally and utterly committed to try and keep us up. What I need them to do is believe in the dream. I need the lads to believe. I need the fans to believe, and we'll have as good a go as we can, because what a fantastic journey it is, whatever happens.
John Murray still at Bloomfield Road. Can you see a way out, John, based upon the way that Blackpool have been playing of late, and when you bear in mind that this M word, momentum, tends to be key at this stage of the season?
Well, I do want to be reluctant to draw conclusions on the basis of this one performance, but it really felt like this was particularly damaging for Blackpool today. Ian Holloway, away from Alistair's interview, talked about the completely amateurish mistakes, he called them, that led to those first 2 Wigan goals, and about them not being able to get any momentum at the moment, that word. But the only glimmer he could conjure up, he said Blackpool are, quote, like a wounded animal that's got to come out fighting, and we're good at that.
And as far as Wigan are concerned, I wonder what this will do for them. They've gone from rock bottom to out of the bottom 3.
Well, it was quite a contrast, Ian Holloway and Roberto Martinez, when I listened to them both after the game. Roberto Martinez was talking about looking upwards now that they're out of the bottom three for the first time for over 2 months, and he was talking about now needing to see how far they can go in the remainder of the season, starting, very interestingly, next weekend at Sunderland, who are only 4 points above Wigan now, and as I mentioned in commentary, their penultimate game, Wigan's penultimate game on Cup final weekend, is at home to West Ham, who are now 2 points below Wigan in the table.
And that's because West Ham lost at home to Aston Villa today. A dramatic late winner for Gabby Agbonlahor gave Villa a 2-1 win at Upton Park. Nigel Adley's in the tunnel there. So what's the mood around the claret and blue of the West Ham dressing room?
Well, plenty of glum faces emerging from the West Ham dressing room, Mark, over the past hour or so, and there were even more miserable supporters filing onto the Barking Road. West Ham, of course, had been relegated before, but the current circumstances with the potential move to the Olympic Stadium seem to have made survival even more important at the moment. And that nervousness quickly transferred itself from the stands to the pitch once Villa equalised, with Agbonlahor's injury time winner really a crushing blow. So, how does the manager Avram Grant lift his players now?
You know, there is 5 games to go, and we don't have any intention to give up. It's more difficult, much more difficult now, but still possible. We need 9 points, more or less, and this is our target.
But is the manner of the defeat the most damaging thing rather than losing the game? Because losing in injury time at home, and that takes some coming back from.
Yes, you know, we try in the last moments of the game, we try to win the games. We had some chances, you know, Corley and Demba and free kick. And then they score, of course. It's not easy, but it's football, you know. For me, was most important, it was that we was winning 1-0 and we was on top of them. Then we made a big mistake that cost us in a goal.
Do you feel that had Richard Dunn been sent off in the first half, that could have turned the game your way?
Of course, you know, I must say first that Mark is a very good referee, but it's a big mistake, you know. It's again and again like against Man United, 1-0, red card for the player, penalty, and then everything can change.
Bottom upwards then, Wolves played 32 points. The rest I read out have played 33 matches. West Ham 32, Blackpool 33, Wigan 34, Blackburn 35 and Sunderland 38. Also on 38 points, Birmingham, Stoke and Fulham, but those three have played 32 games. That's the way it is at the bottom. Motherwell are through to the Scottish Cup final. They beat St Johnstone 3-0. Rangers are top in Scotland after a 2-1 win over St Mirren. In the Championship, Preston won the battle of the bottom two, beating Sheffield United 3-1 at Deepdale. Sheffield United now 4 points adrift of the bottom on 35 points. At the top, Cardiff beat Portsmouth 3-0 to move into second, 7 points behind QPR. Congratulations to Brighton, champions of League One after their 3-1 victory at Walsall. In League Two, Chesterfield need just a point to secure promotion after their 2-1 win over Macclesfield. And so moving on to the tennis in Monte Carlo, Andy Murray's lost his semi-final to Rafa Nadal in 3 sets, 6-4, 2-6, 6-1. But Jonathan Overend, Murray far from fully fit.
No, that's right. We heard before the match, Mark, that Murray had an elbow injury that actually was putting his participation in the semi-final in some doubt. We were worried whether he'd even take to the court at all. And he has confirmed as much to us in the last few minutes, saying that he felt sharp pain through his elbow. He first felt it yesterday during his quarter-final match, but it got more severe during warm-up today. He asked for delay to the semi-final, wasn't sure whether he was going to play, had to see the doctor, had to have a cortisone injection, an anti-inflammatory injection in his right elbow 25 minutes before the match, and basically played the match today with a numb elbow. Now, he has matched the world number one Rafael Nadal today over 2.5 hours. The first 2 sets were shared. How he has done that with a numb elbow, I don't really know. And what on earth the outcome would have been had he been fully fit. Well, this was a marvellous effort from Andy Murray today. There has to be some concern, of course, that he's played through an injury here. Numbing the pain, of course, doesn't make any injury go away. But nevertheless, you have to give him enormous credit for the way he played through the injury today and really challenged Nadal on clay in a way he rarely has been in the past.
Thank you very much indeed, Jonathan Overend there in Monte Carlo. Elsewhere, the unbeaten Henry Cecil-trained Colt Frankel is an even hotter favourite for the 2,000 guineas in a fortnight after success in the Greenham Stakes at Newbury. The jump racing industry is at the centre of more Grand National controversy after the Scottish version at Ayr, won by Beshebar, was marred by the death of 2 horses, and Tom Daly finished 4th in the individual platform at the World Diving in Sheffield. Some emphatic scores in the LV County Cricket today. Holders Nottinghamshire have begun the defence of their title with a 9-wicket win at home to Hampshire. Somerset were humiliated by Warwickshire, who recorded their highest ever winning margin, beating them by an innings and 382 runs. Somerset bowled out for 50 in their second innings this morning. Durham have set Yorkshire 490 for victory and Leeds, later score 84 for 2. In the second division, big wins for Middlesex, Northampton, Derbyshire. In Cardiff, Gloucestershire require 385 to beat Glamorgan, and they are 42 without loss. And in the Aviva Premiership Rugby today, Leicester and Gloucester shared the highest scoring draw in Premiership history, 41 points each, and both teams scored 5 tries. Saracens won 33-12 at Exeter to guarantee a place in the playoffs. Bath beat Harlequins 19-15, and latest score Sale 3, London Irish 17. Manchester United are out, City not yet. Very briefly, City much better, Graham Taylor, in the last 15 minutes or so. Have they got a little bit of momentum?
Yes, they have. Let's hope they keep it going that way, because I'm sure Manchester United will respond to that, and hopefully we'll see a better game.
United are out, so the ground staff with their pitchforks, and Alan Green's ready.
Well, I can assure you that Manchester United haven't made any changes at half-time. The goalkeeper's Van der Sar, a defensive O'Shea, Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra, then Carrick, Scholes and Park, and finally Valencia, Berbatov and Nani. Here come Manchester City, somewhat belatedly. And how many players out? 4, 10. They're unchanged as well. Though some of them may as well have stayed behind the dressing room for all they did in the first 45 minutes. Goalkeeper Hart, defenders Zabaleta, Company, Lescott and Kolarov. In midfield, De Jong, Barry and Yaya Toure, who's pushing forward in support of Balotelli, and on either flank, Johnson and Silva. Balotelli, Robbie's done next to nothing.
Yeah, I think he's had a couple of moments of very, very good skill, but I think when you're playing the one up front, I think his movement's been good at times when he hasn't been spotted, but he's not a Tevez, he's not going to shut down Vidic and Ferdinand. He's dropping too deep. I think City had the momentum just before half-time. Just hope they can continue to make a game of it.
We're underway. City in their sky blue shirts and socks, white shorts. They're defending the goal to our left, behind which are grouped the bulk of the Manchester United supporters. Manchester United, red shirts, white shorts and black and red socks. And United play the ball down their left flank, but Nani pushes Zabaleta over, and it's a free kick to Manchester City. I think what disappointed me most about the opening 15 minutes of the game, before we had those horror misses by Berbatov, the lack of pace, the lack of urgency. I don't know. Do they know it's an FA Cup semi-final?
Well, I think Mike alluded to it was like an Italian game, and it was at walking pace at times, and no keeping possession without any penetration, really.
Right. Well, the assistant on this near side had his flag up for something that he saw. Mike Dean acknowledges it, but play continues. Manchester United have the ball. It's with Scholes. Back now to Ferdinand, and now Vidic, near side of the field. We gather, by the way, that Ferdinand's wife has had a baby girl. We'll have that confirmed later, but that's what we're told. Baby girl. So congratulations, Rio, and of course Mrs. Ferdinand. On the far side of the field, United have the ball with Valencia. Back to O'Shea. Carrick, who quietly has had a good game. Here's Scholes to Vidic, and Vidic, a left-footed pass in the direction of Berbatov. Glancing header on from the Bulgarian, but straight through to Hart.
I think United look a much better and different team when Vidic and Ferdinand play together. I think Rio makes a huge difference to this United team. He's calm on the ball, he can pass it, and I think them two are the reason why now United have got a chance of winning the treble.
Yaya Toure to Silva, back to Yaya Toure, and he plays the ball down the left side, and Kolarov tried to get there, did get there, but the ball's gone behind and it's a goal kick.
I think the referee got that one right. I think Mike Dean's refereed the game exceptionally well. He's let it flow at times. He's got the big decisions right.
always the problem at Wembley. I don't care what the occasion is, thousands of people aren't in their seats at the start of the second half.
If a goal was scored now, 10,000 people would miss it. This game...
Would you feel sorry for them?
No,
I wouldn't.
But this game should be played at a Villa Park, at an Anfield. You know, it's shocking, really.
Only the Football Association think there's good cause to play these semi-finals at Wembley. Well, Valencia took his eyes off the pass from Park, let the ball run under his right boot rather, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Manchester City. City 0, United 0 here in the first of the two FA Cup semi-finals, sponsored by Ian. Tomorrow's Bolton against Stoke, a kick-off at 4 o'clock. We might be delaying Robbie Savage and Mark Chapman's presentation of 6:06 because I've a dreadful fear that we're heading for extra time and penalty kicks here. 0500 909 693 is the number to call. The lines are open for 6:06. Here's Scholes, pass back to Vidic, and the second half has started the way the first half did. Very, very slow. Carrick lost the ball, then he won it back, and then Berbatov loses it again to De Jong. Back to Company, the City captain. Lescott to Barry in the centre circle. Barry running towards the far side. That's the City left. Plays it back to Kolarov, and it's back to Lescott. I think maybe the players are in sympathy with all those thousands of fans who aren't in their seats. They're saying, let's not do anything for 5 or 10 minutes. Let them sit down before we get anxious. Here's Balotelli coming forward. Balotelli flicks the ball to the left side. Kolarov into the penalty. Our first touch was Burr. Low cross into the 6-yard box. Put behind by Manchester United for a corner. No, he's given a goal kick.
Well, if he's given a goal kick, that is worse than Berbatov's miss. That's going to be interesting to see. As Vidic cleared it. It's great play from Kolarov. Whipped it into the near post. Just interesting to see who's got the final touch.
It was
Vidic. It's a corner.
Well, my first instinct was corner, but the referee decides otherwise, and his is the only verdict that matters. Slice clearance by Joe Hart. Lucky to get away with it, or has he got away with it? Lescott to Barry, and back to Joe Hart.
Great play from City though. Balotelli on the half turn in the hole. Ferdinand doesn't want to go in there. Kolarov on the overlap. He should have whipped it across first time when people were making their runs and they had to stop, and that's why Vidic cleared it.
Toure on to Johnson. Back to Toure, who's tackled by Vidic. The ball goes out of play, and Yaya Toure furious at the assistants raising the flag in the direction of a Manchester United throw-in.
It was a foul. No need to foul him there. You know, Toure. You know, Vidic has bought the foul, he's won the foul, but still don't foul him at no point.
Free kick, yeah. It is a free kick for a foul on Vidic. Vidic plays that free kick back to Van der Sar. Come on, waking up, folks. There are neutrals inside the stadium who'd like to be remotely entertained. Not everybody in Wembley today is committed to one of these two teams.
And they're having hamburgers at the minute, or coffees, because they're in the stadium.
Scholes, back to Ferdinand, on to Scholes again. It's the middle tier, as always, that is mostly lacking in supporters. That's the corporate ring of Wembley. And interestingly, by the way, one of the arguments about playing the semi-finals at Wembley, the FA will make, is that it allows more of the club's fans to see the semis. That doesn't count when it gets to the final, when they get their usual miserable allocation, so and Wembley's dominated by corporate influences.
So they'll get about 20,000 tickets each for the final. Well, they could have had that today at an Anfield, at a Villa Park, less travel for the fans. You know, it's not right.
A clash of heads involving Evra and Johnson. Johnson certainly come off worse, even though Patrice Evra is clutching his forehead. It was just an honest attempt to go for the ball, and I think Johnson will be okay. So it's 6 anemic minutes at the start of the second half. I'm tempted to hand over to Mike now, because it woke up when he got the commentary mic in the first half. Johnson's okay, he's back on the pitch, play resumes. Here's Lescott to Silva, back to Lescott again, still inside the City half, and a woeful pass forward. And Ferdinand gets there first, plays the pass back to Van der Sar. Van der Sar's clearance wasn't great, round to Silva, but Silva didn't bring it under control. And then it's a mistake by Manchester United. Ball's inside the United penalty. It's a goal for Manchester City. Yaya Toure has put City in front, and that was all United's fault. They got themselves in bother. Initially, the back pass from Ferdinand to Van der Sar. They didn't complete the clearance. Yaya Toure pounced on an error into the penalty area, and against the run of play, City are in front. Yaya Toure's 8th goal of his City career, much the most important.
Going back to when you say it was a woeful ball from, I think it was Conor Barry into the corner. It was a great ball. That's one of the best balls in the game. It puts the opposition on the back foot. Ferdinand had to pass it back to Van der Sar quickly. Bad clearance. Torres pounced on it. He's gone past Vidic like he wasn't there and slotted it past Van der Sar. But that has come from a Manchester City player putting the ball in the corner, getting United on the back foot and getting the second ball. Manchester City 1, United 0.
Well, from a neutral perspective, I think most neutrals would prefer City to score first, because United are certainly capable of coming from behind. Whereas if United had scored, I couldn't see where City were going to get anything out of this FA Cup semi-final. But now it's the favourites who are on the back foot.
You know, it's the neutral. This is what the game needed. I'm with you, Alan. If United had got the first goal, seeing United at Anfield, I think it would have been game over. Now, this makes it a very, very good spectacle. United now going to have to come out even more and attack.
Yeah, and surely Hernandez has to get on the pitch pretty soon.
Yeah.
Strange decision by Sir Alex to leave the Mexican out in the first place. And now his team's a goal down. All the talk in recent weeks, understandable talk in recent weeks, about Manchester United and the possibility of another treble to replicate what happened, that fantastic climax to the 1998-99 season. But they could stumble here in the semi-final of the FA Cup. City a goal in front through this man, Yaya Toure. Balotelli running to his left, Yaya Toure forward into Zabaleta. Ball only half cleared by Manchester United, and now they can clear it properly. Nani to Evra running into Barry, but the ball squirts back to Vidic.
As good as Vidic is, Alan, you know, he has got a lack of pace, and I think that's just shown it perfectly. Torres drove at him, he's put it past him, Vidic static. It was a great finish.
Well, Graham Taylor's sitting about 20 yards to our right. Graham, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, basically you're saying it's a ball into space, should have been dealt with quite comfortably. It wasn't. Van der Sar, a poor clearance, Carrick caught possession, and Manchester City took full advantage of it. I mean, it's not a fantastic goal, it's a run-of-the-mill goal, but mistakes made by Manchester United. City 1-0 ahead. Going to be very interesting now to see how this game unfolds.
10 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. City 1, United 0. Here's Park, who was involved in that calamitous defending that led to the City goal. Good break forward by Company, finding Balotelli. Silva running to his left. Has the Italians found him with the pass he has? Silva into the penalty area, tried to get a low cross in. It was blocked by Ferdinand, hit Silva in the face and rebounded to Van der Sar.
Well, I tell you what, it's a great game now. City on the ascendancy. That goal's given a massive lift. Company sprinting 50 yards out of defence, 3-on-2. Great block by Ferdinand.
Evra to Nani. Nani was slow to react. Zabaleta made the challenge, won the ball. Johnson to De Jong, just on the halfway line. Good pass by De Jong. The Dutchman to the far side, and the Spaniard David Silva. Silva with Kolarov to his left, and it's played to Kolarov, almost level with the edge of the United penalty area. Silva, Kolarov, back to Barry. Barry on to Silva again, moving in field. David Silva has time to turn around. Edge of the penalty, good ball into Yaya Toure, his cross aimed at Balotelli, cleared by Vidic on the volley, out of play for a throw-in.
Balotelli's got to make his run across the near post there. He can see what's happening, he sees the build-up, he's got to break his neck to get across that near post. Good defending by Vidic. But City, different team this second half.
Yeah, and the sky blue half of Wembley is ecstatic. That's the end that City are attacking in this second period. Throw into the United penalty area, went far too far, went to Balotelli. Balotelli again with a shot blocked by Vidic, and United are rocking a little bit defensively.
United have started the second half like City started the first half, letting them come on to them. You know, and City have played full of confidence now. You just wonder why City haven't played like this all season, having a go at games.
Zabaleta back to Company. The only time I saw City this season really have a go was at Craven Cottage. And I thought, well, if you'd played more like that in other Premier League games, you'd be challenging for the title, not the top four.
Yeah.
But generally, they've been, dare I use the word, negative under Mancini. And they started this game badly. But now they're in front. And they'll be counting down the minutes. We've already had 12 minutes of the second 45. There's 5 Live in the BBC. The FA Cup sponsored by E.ON. Company, the City captain, heads it forward. Yaya Toure got it back. De Jong forward to Yaya Toure again, just over the halfway line, and Yaya Toure retreats into his own half, finds Silva. The more movement from Silva, the more difficult it will be for United to pick up those runs.
Yeah, alluding to what Graham Taylor said at half time, getting Silva and Johnson on the ball. Silva's been a big influence in the second half already. Again, on there we see a ball from De Jong into space, into an area where Van der Sar or defenders have got to make a decision. Van der Sar kicks the ball straight out of play. It's a great ball.
Thrown in the far side of the field to Manchester City. 13 minutes played in the second period. Throw goes to Yaya Toure, his back heel didn't find Silva, but again lazy defending by Manchester United. City have the ball again, Balotelli showing off, back to Kolarov, Yaya Toure, Kolarov again on the far side, running into trouble but gets the ball back to Gareth Barry. Barry dives into Scholes, once England College of course. Ball breaks to De Jong being fouled there by Park but keeping possession, and City look hungrier in this second period. Late to come out for the start of the second half.
City winning every tackle, and they win the second balls, they're winning every tackle.
Oh goodness, Zabaleta was high in the challenge on Paul Scholes. Scholes didn't like it, didn't make too much of it initially, but now he turned to Mike Dean and said, hey, what was that all about?
That's one of the ones that hurt. You can see by Scholes, his reaction there. It's one of them you gut your teeth. You're not going to show your opponent, he's hurt you, but he's hurt Scholesy there.
Zabaleta's throwing to Yaya Toure, and then Johnson plays it off the shins of Nani. Another throw into Manchester City, this one a little bit further into the Manchester United half. We played 59 minutes here at Wembley in the first of the two FA Cup semi-finals, and it's the sky blue half of Manchester that leads the way. 1-0, Yaya Toure's goal. Zabaleta with another throw in, level with the edge of the United penalty area. Television close-ups of two great stalwarts from their respective clubs, Sir Bobby Charlton and Mike Summerby, much the happier of the two. Lescott to Company, back to Lescott, and Lescott steps away from Park and then chips it in the direction of the left back Kolarov, up from full back. Good run by Kolarov then slides the ball back to Balotelli. A couple of yards outside the penalty area. Where's he going? He can't distinguish obviously between sky blue and red because his pass went straight to Nani, and Zabaleta's challenge was very aggressive. He got away with it. That was the challenge on Nani. The ball's back to Van der Sar.
Yes, getting teared. This is like a derby now, and tackles flying in, shots getting blocked, and City are the better team. But what you can do, you cannot rule United out. 2-0 down at West Ham, 4-2. They could easily go and score 1 or 2 now.
Zabaleta to Johnson, near side of the field, City right. Johnson back to his captain Company. We played an hour in this FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. Yaya Toure's goal. Here's Silva.
He sounds like a superhero. Captain Company's played like one as well, Alan, to be fair.
Playing well. I thought that was good work by Balotelli as he shielded the challenge coming in from Rio Ferdinand, but the referee decides there was a foul challenge and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, who have not responded well to going goal down.
Well, since the goal they haven't been in City's half really. City have been getting the tackles in, winning the second balls. Berbatov's no influence, nor does Nani, nor Valencia. You're right, for United you've got to bring Hernandez on.
Yeah, we may yet need extra time here at Wembley, but the lines are open for Robbie's 606, presented with Mark Chapman. 0500 909 693. Good work by Balotelli and Yaya Toure, the goal scorer. Silva to Yaya Toure's left, but he's looking right into Balotelli. Balotelli was onside, but his first touch was poor, and then the challenge came in from Vidic and it's behind for a corner.
Yaya Toure is having a massive effect in this game. He's picking the ball up in the hole where defenders don't want to go. Then he sprints at the United back four. Silva and Balotelli run off angles, and you're right, Alan, it was a poor first touch off Balotelli.
Corner to City from their right, in front of the City fans. Johnson plays it short to Silva, back to Johnson, up to the edge of the penalty area, steps inside Evra into the penalty area, crosses it low, and Van der Sar didn't know what to do with it. In the end he palms it behind for a corner.
United are all over the place at corners. They should have learnt in the first half. 2-1, Silva and Johnson, great play between the pair of them, and Johnson's done the double step over the box. Evra knows he can't touch it, and that's nearly gone in off the back of Van der Sar's heel.
It could have been their own goal.
So lucky.
Another corner to City. Again it's played short to Silva. United sleeping. Silva back to Johnson deep cross toward the far post, just it down, and then it's flicked behind by Ferdinand. A third corner in quick succession to Manchester City.
Surely you've got to learn. It's 2 against 1. They're leaving it. Either Johnson's dribbling 1-on-1 in the box, or he's crossing it there. Great block from Ferdinand, bad touch from Toure. When United aren't learning from the mistakes.
Johnson again to take the corner. This one's from the left side. On the previous 2 occasions on the right, Park was sleeping as the corner was played by Johnson for Silva. Park now is responding, but the corner still played to David Silva. And Silva crosses left-footed into the penalty area, and Lescott heads it wide. Should have headed it in.
Free header from Lescott. Park isolated again. Great ball from Silva. Lescott, free header from 6 yards out. Should have been 2-0. Are they going to rue that mess?
It's a wholly different game now, Graham Taylor.
It is, Alan, and the old saying, it's surprising what a goal does. And it certainly has done wonders for Manchester City, because since scoring that goal, they've dominated. They could be more than 1 up now. I have the feeling if they do go 2 up, then I think it'll be game over.
But here's Manchester United on the attack. A rare occasion since City went in front. Scholes just outside the penalty area. Onto Park. Johnson was tracking back. Johnson got an important touch. At least put off the Korean. Park. Back to Evra. Onto Park. Left of the City penalty area. Checks onto his right foot. Into the penalty area. To Nani. Park again. Overrunning the ball. And it's cleared by City. Up to the halfway line. Straight to Ferdinand. How much longer before Hernandez comes on? O'Shea on the far side of the field. O'Shea checks. Plays it back to Scholes. And this is a rarity since City scored, that Manchester United have hemmed City back inside their own half. Vidic to the near side and Evra. Onto Park. Back towards Evra. Johnson running with the Frenchman. Evra winning, but the pass into Nani wasn't great. Nani couldn't quite control it. Ball breaks to Scholes. Park helps out. Scholes, free kick to Manchester United. Perilous position for City, right on the edge of the D.
What is Zabaleta doing there, diving? He's got a yellow card off Mike Dean. Great play from Scholes, bought the foul, but what is Zabaleta doing? Diving in there ridiculously, but great play for United. This United team, you've got to admire them. They've gone behind, and they've come back into the game, and there's a sub coming out. You're right.
Here comes Chico. Hernandez.
Chico time. It's Chico time. I bet you didn't watch him on the X Factor, did you?
Interesting. No, I didn't. Never ever. I have got some taste, Robbie. Hernandez replaces Valencia. But this is a Nani free kick, surely. It's a yard from the edge of the D. We've only got 25 minutes left of the 90. City lead United 1-0. Now, can Nani replicate what a certain number 7 Cristiano Ronaldo used to do for Manchester United from similar positions? Where's Ronaldo when you need him? Hart crouches a couple of feet in front of his goal line. City wait. Whistle blown with the referee. Here's Nani. Nani plays it in. Hey, touches the crossbar. Berbatov heads it down and is cleared by Yaya Toure. I think Hart got a hand on the
save.
ball. He got a hand on the ball, and that prevented the equaliser.
Yeah, I think it's clipped off the wall initially. I'm just looking at the replay. It's clipped the wall, and I think Hart just tipped it onto the bar. It's a wonderful save. It's come off Balotelli's head. Hart's hand, crossbar. What is Zabaleta doing? Diving in. Roberto Mancini be going berserk. Don't give free kicks away to the players of the quality of Nani, Berbatov. Scores around the area. It's a great save of Hart.
Well, Anderson and Michael Owen are also warming up for Manchester United. You certainly see Anderson coming into the fray soon. Manchester City lead Manchester United by 1-0, and we're not that far off the midway point in the second half. De Jong heads the ball back to Lescott, and it's back to Hart. Hart's made 2 vital saves in this game, in the first half from Berbatov, and then from that deflected Nani free kick. Zabaleta running back, and the ball's going to keep in play, so Zabaleta has to play it. Back to Joe Hart. Hart clatters the clearance high, dropping towards the halfway line. Cushioned header by Scholes, but only found Balotelli. Back to Barry. Good ball by Barry to Kolarov on the far side. And on to Silva. Silva now 15 yards inside the United half. And playing it back to Gareth Barry. I can't see Barry and De Jong having much forward momentum in this situation. with City leading 1-0. Oh goodness gracious, that was a bad challenge surely by Balotelli, who's going to be yellow carded for the foul on Barry. We've reached the midway point in the second half. It's a better game, and it's because of a goal. City 1, United 0. Here's Michael.
Well, I've got to say, when I picked up commentary from Alan in the first half, could never see this scenario later in the game, because City were being completely outplayed by Manchester United. It's turned around, as you've gathered, in the second half. Balotelli has just got a yellow card. Here come United, but the move breaks down, and Gareth Barry shows of his experience, sweeps the ball back to Hart in the City goal, and it's back inside the United half. Vidic with a header. Awkward bounce for Nani against Kolarov, and he doesn't get it, and Lescott clears, but he needs to hold on to it better than that, Lescott. He's just smashed it back into United half, and Rio Ferdinand retrieves and will send it back to goalkeeper Van der Sar. So first of all, it was a poor clearance from Van der Sar. Then Michael Carrick gave the ball away. It's very complacent at the back by Manchester United. Yaya Toure punished them. We got a television picture of Noel Gallagher jumping around in one of the boxes here, and his City team lead by 1-0. Long way to go in the game though yet. Park, highlight of the second half so far. The corporate fans below arriving 10 minutes into the second half, looking up at the scoreboard and seeing that City were in the lead. Now Adam Johnson for Manchester City. Back to Zabaleta on a yellow card. Barry, much more influential in the game now. Zabaleta once more. Chips the ball into the United half. Mancini's out there orchestrating from the sideline, and the ball breaks to Nani inside the centre circle. 1-0 to Manchester City in the semi-final. Nani loses the ball. City looking to try and counter-attack here. Balotelli's made a run, and they find him just inside the United half. Cross comes Ferdinand. Nice change there with Kolarov. City now with Kolarov down the left-hand side. Good pace. And then he gets a bit carried away and smashes the ball into those light blue shirts and the fans behind Van der Sar's goal.
The most pleasing thing for Roberto is Balotelli's got booked for tracking back. He's then just tracked back again, won the tackle. Then he's made the run in behind. And again, it's good play for Manchester City. But, Mike Phelan's on the sideline urging United to get out. Get out, he's saying to him.
If you weren't with us in the first half when United were on top, Berbatov in quick succession missed a couple of great opportunities. The second one in particular, we thought here Hernandez would have put away had he been on the pitch. 86,549 watching on here. Don't forget Stoke and Bolton tomorrow. Here Manchester City 1-0 in front. The ball is with Balotelli just inside the United half. City getting good possession now. Nigel de Jong onto Barry inside the centre circle. Barry moves it away from Hernandez, and now Kolarov for left back, looking to play the ball into the goal scorer Yaya Toure, but that breaks away, and it's going to be another Manchester United goal kick. So we've played 25 minutes of the second half, 20 to go. Here's more from Graham Taylor. Graham.
Well, I think very few of us were expecting this, after the first half. But there's no doubt about it. The game, to a degree, is still in balance here, because Manchester United should never be written off. Having said that, I do think Manchester City are playing as well now as they have done in all of the game.
Thank you, Graham. We just got a picture there of Yaya Toure's brother, Kolo Toure, sitting here, unable to play at the moment after that drugs test problem that he had. We'll wait to see how that's going to be resolved. Wayne Rooney also suspended from the game here today, watches on. And it's going to be a Manchester City free kick. There's nothing that Sir Alex Ferguson can do in terms of getting into the technical area. He's sitting in the stand here, of course, still suspended from the touchline. He's got his earpiece in. He's trying to get instructions over to Mike Phelan. United coming here and hoping it would be the first of 3 Wembleys in 6 weeks. They thought it and hope it will be an FA Cup final and a Champions League final. Could still happen, but they're running out of time. Scholes now lifts the ball too far. Oh, and then follows through on Zabaleta. Paul Scholes. And Mike Dean's going to be tested here.
I'll tell you what, first instinct, that should be a red card. First instinct. I think Scholes, gone for the 50-50. He's left his foot high, studs showing.
And you're right, Robbie.
It's a red card.
It's a straight red card for Paul Scholes. 24th Manchester derby. We wonder whether it might be his last as well. It's certainly the last he's seeing in this semi-final. He's reduced his side to 10 men. He's made the task now more severe for Sir Alex Ferguson. Scholes sent off, straight red for the follow-through there on Zabaleta. And that, of course, over his distinguished career, Alan was talking about it, that's been the one really grey area, hasn't it, in his game, his ability to tackle in midfield. Robbie, you're getting another view of it. The foot was really high, wasn't it?
I've got to say, I'm a big advocate of Paul Scholes. I think he's been one of the best Premier League players there's been in midfield. I think there,
caught him in the hip.
He's high. He's left his foot in. Oh, it's a bad tackle off Scholesy there.
Got him right on the thigh there, Zabaleta. He's back on his feet again. He's going to be able to carry on, but while the game stops here, let's get a second opinion from Graham Taylor. Graham.
Paul Scholes is one of the best midfield players have been for more than a generation. Paul Scholes can also, in football parlance, look after himself, and he's looked after himself in that way on a number of occasions in his career. It's not a question that he doesn't know how to tattle. He does know how to tattle, and he tattles unfairly, he tattles dangerously, and that was a sending off offence from the first minute.
Well, he was dismissive of City in the build-up to this game, Paul Scholes, saying that they're not really a threat because they're not really one of our close rivals, but City are leading here 1-0. City fans celebrating almost as if they've scored with another of their Poznan celebrations, turning their backs on the game here. And we're going to get Anderson now coming on. Berbatov will be sacrificed. Anderson coming into midfield.
Can I just say, this is even more of a significance now for Roberto Mancini. 1-0 up at Wembley, 20 minutes or so left against 10 men United. If United turn this around now, there could be huge consequences for Roberto. 1-0 up, 10 men, huge 20 minutes in Roberto Mancini's Manchester City career, I believe.
Scholes is out of contention now, of course, for the next 3 domestic matches. He'll miss Newcastle, he'll miss Everton, he'll miss Arsenal. I think those are the 3 games. Anderson's coming on straight away and flying forward and tackled in the end by Nigel de Jong and wins himself a free kick. Spiky, spicy semi-final now. City leading 1-0. De Jong's got a yellow card, which he acknowledges there. And it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a yellow card, that was it. Anderson's rolled round 48 times, held his legs and got up. Nothing wrong with him.
No complaints.
Look, he's done a triple salto.
Yeah, no complaints apparently from the Manchester United bench on the Scholes sending off. So United down to 10 men. City lead 1-0 through Yaya Toure. Free kick is taken by Nani. It's a poor one, headed away easily by Barry. Back again to Nani. Nani now to Carrick, desperate I would have think to redeem himself having made the mistake, but that's a poor ball for Rio Ferdinand, and the game has completely turned around. There's David Platt down there, who began his career at Manchester United as a young man alongside Roberto Mancini, who played in a European Cup final at the old Wembley, captaining Sampdoria in a game against Barcelona. And of course the other member of the management team down there, Brian Kidd, was a European champion with Manchester United at the old Wembley. City though are leading 1-0, heading for their first final for 30 years.
If I was Roberto now, do you know what I'd do? I'd make a tactical change. I'd bring somebody you know, something like a Sean Wright Phillips on.
He's coming on, you can see.
I honestly didn't see that.
No,
somebody you trust, somebody you know what you're going to get out of. You know, maybe sacrifice a Balotelli, the unknown quantity. Bring a guy who's been there, done it, but you know what you're going to get. Just to try and close out the game.
Just wondering whether Mancini as well got to his team at half time, because it was a very different City at the start of the second half here. United were very slow to get into the game, and City lead 1-0 and deserve to be leading 1-0 at the moment. United down to 10 men. Scholes straight red card for a foul on Zabaleta. Barry now for Manchester City, getting much more possession. City, Zabaleta near side. On now to Yaya Toure, who steps on the ball and gives it away, but United are back inside their own half. And of course City will hope that if they can get to the final, they might even get Carlos Tevez back for the final in 4 weeks' time, the City captain. But that's for the future. O'Shea now hits it long, and he had no other alternative. There was no one anywhere near him. City don't really deal with it. It's Carrick on the halfway line. Long high ball looking for Hernandez. Company's there with a terrific header. Heads it out of play near side for a United throw, and Hernandez gallops across to take it quickly. City 1, United 0 in the semi-final. Evra now onto Hernandez. Hernandez on the edge of the penalty area. Javier Hernandez is tackled by Zabaleta, and United have a corner kick near side the left, and Sean Wright Phillips will come on shortly for Manchester City. He'll be full of running, and he'll be trying to stretch the 10 men of United. Nani then with the corner kick. Ferdinand and O'Shea have gone forward, and they have to, of course, here. Corner kick to Manchester United, trailing by 1-0. Header away by Company. Comes out to Carrick in the area. Carrick shot straight at heart, straight at the goalkeeper, who holds on for City.
I've got to say, United look like the team with the 11 men and City are down to 10. Since the sending off, United have been the far better team.
Kolarov bringing the ball out now, down the City left. And Johnson's coming off. We think Adam Johnson will be replaced by Wright Phillips. Next time the ball's out of play. Silva now. Bright and sparky for City. Balotelli trying to stay onside, and then Silva was anticipating a run from Balotelli, which didn't materialise, and it goes through to Van der Sar. So Wright Phillips waiting to come on for Manchester City. All of their fans behind the goal where Yaya Toure gave them the lead in the second half. Mistakes at the back by Van der Sar and Carrick, who's been in such great form over the last few weeks for United since they recovered from that defeat at Liverpool with 7 successive wins. Manchester United, Champions League semi-finalists, but trailing here at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. The treble dream could be ending here today. 1-0 to City. Silva now. Kolarov down the left, halfway inside the United half. O'Shea tracking back. Kolarov now looking for Yaya Toure. Played the ball behind him. Ferdinand clears. United have to be careful here. And again, nobody wants to take responsibility. And it goes towards the corner flag to Nani. Can't give it to Van der Sar. And he just helps it hopelessly out of play. And United have lost the initiative here. It's a City throw far side. And now here comes the change. And it will be Wright Phillips, as you predicted, Robbie, coming on for Adam Johnson.
Yeah, I think Adam Johnson's done terrifically well. I think he's had an impact in the game second half from his corners and getting one-on-one situations. I think just the tried and tested Sean Wright Phillips, bit of extra energy, because City, I've got to say, they do look out on their feet. They put so much into the second half, winning second balls, making tackles. And he'll just had a bit of spark. But United, 13 minutes left.
Many of the City fans have brought the inflatable yellow bananas from the days of Imre Varadi. I remember here in the crowd to our right as Wright Phillips comes on, and City are trying to win a corner kick over on the far side. United desperate to get possession, and now it's Anderson. Anderson stabs it to the right hand side. Carrick trying to get away from difficulty. Sends it back to his captain Vidic. Here come United now, moving out of their own half, trailing 1-0 with just over 10 minutes to go. David Platt urging everybody back. It's Nemanja Vidic, has to hold the ball on the halfway line, faced by De Jong. Finds Ferdinand. United playing it around a little too slowly here. Brian Kidd will come out as well now, and we're going to have Fabio coming on in a moment, the young fullback for Manchester United. Anderson for United, another of the Brazilians. Anderson taking on De Jong. Good pace from Anderson, then his ball in is headed away by Kompany. United lose their way, and it's Manchester City now over on the left hand side with Mario Balotelli. Balotelli holding and just winding the clock down already. O'Shea's got the ball off him, and now it'll break back into the United half, and it's Ferdinand with a clever ball to Carrick. Nani now onto O'Shea, 1-0 to City. Hernandez gets a piece of the ball now, finds O'Shea again down the right, only Park in the penalty area. Nani faced by 2 or 3 City players. Nani onto Hernandez. Hernandez twinkling skills in the area, goes away from Lescott, shot driven in, and Kompany was behind it to clear for Manchester City, but United coming on again, trying to equalise. Barry's just gone down on his haunches in the penalty area. The cross comes in from O'Shea. Park with a header, and Hart clutches the ball high above his head, and City have possession again.
City are all over the place. For instance, United attacking them, they've left 3 up front. Against United look like they're in the ascendancy against the 11 men. And we've in training, Mike, what you do, you'll play 11 against sometimes. It's amazing how many times you cannot score, but it's,
so many City fans, it occurs to me here, who have never been in this position before. 30 years, of course, since the last FA Cup final. And these last 10 minutes, because that's what we've got, are going to seem like an absolute eternity for them. But City must still, with a man advantage, keep coming on surely here to Manchester United. They cannot afford to sit back as Fabio prepares to come on. Silva now. City just moving it through their own half. De Jong now launches it to this near side, and Zabaleta. Mancini points. Wright Phillips waiting for his first touch. Zabaleta doesn't find him. Evra cushions the ball on his chest. A neat header infield from Park now for Anderson. Anderson trying to drive forward, but drives the ball straight at the outstanding Kompany. And Kompany now checks inside the United half, plays the ball into the centre circle, and that's really nice possession football from City. And it opens up down the left now for Kolarov, who's got good pace. In the area, Balotelli. Kolarov slammed the ball straight at O'Shea. Comes back almost to the halfway line, but City keep the ball. De Jong. Nice ball to this near side. Chance for Wright Phillips to run with the ball at his feet for the first time. Goes around the outside of Evra. Sean Wright Phillips for Manchester City trying to pick out a pass. Only picks out Van der Sar.
Great play from Wright Phillips. Went past Evra like he wasn't there. what City are doing, they're targeting John O'Shea with Kolarov getting out the outside. It's been much better from City second half.
9 minutes to go. City lead 1-0. The only other semi-final between these two back in the 20s. City won it at Bramall Lane and then lost to Bolton in the final. Well, if they win today, who knows, they could be playing Bolton again in the final, but that's for tomorrow. Here on this early Saturday evening at Wembley, City lead through Yaya Touré's goal. Mistakes at the back from Manchester United. Anderson now for United. There's no width for him though at all. He's having to take it down the centre at the moment. Heavily guarded by City players. Evra now takes over. Fabio waiting to come on. Evra to Hernandez. Back again to Evra. Can't take it in his stride and company clears, but only as far as O'Shea down the United right. City got everybody back inside their own half. O'Shea just held up for a moment by Silva. Still O'Shea, and he can't go forward, and he's lost the ball easily, and City are coming with an extra man advantage, of course, on the counter-attack. Yaya Touré's made a big run, and Balotelli's clear down the right-hand side where they can find him. Yaya Touré loses it though to Ferdinand, and Ferdinand urged to bring the ball forward, and Mancini urging his players to come back as Park is blocked by company, and that should be a yellow card.
Yeah, you've got to look at now. Zabaleta's on a yellow card. De Jong's on a yellow card. Now Company's on a card. You've got to get somebody like Milner on just to steady the ship. You don't want to go 10-10 because the way it's going, I think United are going to get a good chance. It always happens, and I think United will get a great chance before the end of this game.
We'll have another word from Graham Taylor in a moment, but Fabio has come on and he'll play it right back. O'Shea departs the scene. If you're just joining us in 5 Live, Scholes has been sent off here, straight red card. His team United go forward and Evra drags the shot well wide of goal. So once more, here's Graham Taylor.
How many times do we see a team go down to 10 men and then take charge of the game? I don't know why, but it is just something that happens. And this is what Manchester United now have done. I have to say that some of the Manchester City players look tired. That raises a bit of fitness level here, but certainly the 10-men Manchester United have now come on to dominate the game.
Sir Alex Ferguson, thank you Graham, has only lost one FA Cup semi-final. That was to the blue of Everton on penalties here. He lost to the blue of Chelsea in the final of 2007. He's losing to the light blue of Manchester City, but there is still here over 5 minutes to go, plus maybe 2 or 3 minutes of added time. It's back with Van der Sar in the United goal.
Yeah, I echo what Graham Taylor says. The amount of time the 10 men go in the ascendancy, and City look out on their feet.
Long ball downfield. Hernandez going in with Lescott, who takes responsibility, heads the ball out, and Fabio will get his first touch as he retrieves over on the far side and takes a quickly taken United throw-in. Hernandez now in the deep, trying to link with Carrick. Carrick's ball forward offside against Fabio, and a free kick to Manchester City. A change coming up now by City. Patrick Vieira. Wow, what an experienced man to bring into the game. Of course, it was his penalty in the shootout which beat Manchester United in the 2005 final. United haven't won the FA Cup since 2004. Trailing here 1-0, and he's just getting his final instructions from David Platt down there, Vieira. So Vieira's going to come on, and out of all his experience and power and presence, but it's Anderson now, the younger man for Manchester United. 1-0 down here in the Cup semi-final, 4.5 minutes of normal time to go. United still not passing the ball well enough. It's out of play. Here comes Vieira.
Be interesting to see who he brings off. Is it going to be De Jong, who's been booked? Be very interesting.
It's David Silva. Silva is coming off, Vieira is coming on.
Well, you just
so
hope,
that's closing the game out, isn't it?
Yeah, and you just hope from Manchester City's perspective it doesn't go to extra time, because with him off the pitch, you know, he's probably been their most creative force. He's had a very, very huge impact in the second half, as all Manchester City players have.
There'll be a lot of talk if United lose this game about Paul Scholes, I suppose, in the aftermath. Such a wonderful career, but checkered, of course, by too many challenges like the one that we've had here today, which reduced United, his team, to 10 men, as Vieira comes on to Silva and will just sit in midfield alongside Gareth Barry and Nigel de Jong as well. This is going to be quite a barrier to break down now for Manchester United. It's Carrick for United. Carrick doesn't manage to get far forward at all. Balotelli's tracking back. That'll please his manager. He is, and he knocks the ball out of play. City being urged not to sit too deep here. Throw to Manchester United with 3.5 minutes to go. 30 years since they've been in an FA Cup final, Manchester City. Even longer, of course, since they've won a major trophy back in the 70s in the League Cup. Long ball downfield for Manchester City, for Manchester United, cut out by Company, still inside the City half. Carrick now, but United have to show a little bit more urgency. Evra, Hernandez in the area, Patrice Evra from Manchester United, shot wild in the end, billows the side netting, and another opportunity wasted by United.
Yeah, one against against Zabaleta there, drove at him, but a poor execution from Evra. You know, the City have got that many experienced players on the pitch. They're just getting run ragged by the 10 men of United. United look a far better team since they've gone down to 10 men.
But only 2.5 minutes to go though now, Robbie, and City, who were really slow coming into this game, quite negative early on. Manchester United were getting all of the ball, but they missed when they were on top. Crucially, those two opportunities from Berbatov. One was a good save from Hart, the other one Berbatov should have struck in from 2 or 3 yards out. And City are closing in on a famous win here. They haven't won away from Manchester this year, not since Boxing Day at Newcastle. Anderson though with different ideas. Tackle comes in from Vieira and the referee was happy with it. Sliding challenge from Vieira, wrapped his long legs around the ball, and Mike Dean decided he got the ball, and it's a throw into Manchester United. Hernandez trying to turn away from Zabaleta. It's a throw to United, halfway inside the City half, into the last 2 minutes of normal time. Manchester City are leading Manchester United by 1-0. Carrick, all the action down this left-hand side at the moment. United will not threaten as long as they're in this part of the world. Now Ferdinand over on the right. Ferdinand for United. Square ball to Carrick. City with everybody back. Carrick over to Vidic, and now Evra once more. City marking up well. Evra makes a mistake. Zabaleta pounces. Evra trying to win the ball back, and he does. And Carrick now for United, looking for the pace of Park. Cross comes Wright Phillips, and Company, who's been outstanding at the back for City, clears once more. A good take by the goal scorer Yaya Toure. Now he's playing the ball down the right hand side for Balotelli. Across comes Vidic. Balotelli trying to get the ball in the area, and it's deflected away by Vidic. And now Fabio of Manchester United with just over a minute to go, and look, Mancini urging Balotelli to come back and help out as Hernandez turns into trouble in midfield, and City win the ball back, and Kolarov finds Joe Hart. All eyes on the fourth official in a moment as Hart clears. City hanging on here against the 10 men. Ball is out of play for United throw.
Roberto's on the side, screaming at Balotelli, go and keep the ball in the corner, Mario. You've seen Yaya Toure trying to put it in. Roberto's screaming. United in the ascendancy.
City though regard this as a huge day psychologically against Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson picking a very strong side today, but trailing 1-0 to Yaya Toure's goal as Hernandez plays the ball across the field to Nani. United have to be quicker, they get to force extra time. Nani's shot is blocked by Gareth Barry, threw himself at the ball, and now it's Balotelli picking it up and nudging it down the right hand side for Wright Phillips, who'll keep it in. Goes around Carrick, back again to Balotelli. City just need to keep the ball now as the fourth official Chris Foy prepares to show us the added time. City go down that left hand side. There's a great Euro by Yaya Toure in the area, goes down under challenge from Vidic, still not clear yet by Manchester United, and the referee looks, and 5 minutes of added time. It was Manchester United go down the other end now, and it's Carrick. City have to get back. Yaya Toure still down in the United penalty area away to our right. Hernandez skips down the left hand side, lays the ball into midfield to Anderson. Anderson now for Fabio down the right. United have the players forward. Cross comes in from Fabio, it's poor for Hernandez. It's too high for him, it's a goal kick.
The question is, was it a penalty? It's a great break off Gareth Barry, who I think has been superb this afternoon. He slid the ball to Toure. The question, is it a penalty? No, it's good defending by Vidic. You know, it's a great chance.
5 minutes of added time at Wembley. City lead 1-0. Before the game, Mancini's quote really was, "It is time to take the fruit from the trees." That was how he saw the game today. Well, at the moment, City are going to do that. But the actual goal was like stealing candy from a baby, really, because there were two mistakes at the back by United. And now it's Park for Manchester United, running out of time in added time. Park slips the ball forward. Anderson made a great run, but the covering defender was Lescott, and Anderson left something in there as well, because it's a free kick as Hart gets a pat on the back. Lescott gets a pat on the back from Hart, and it's a free kick to Manchester City.
He's been terrific today, Lescott. He's had his critics. I think he's marshalled with him, and as well as City have played, Company and Lescott have been terrific. Absolutely terrific.
Not long to go now. City fans, a bit like the Birmingham fans here for the League Cup final, really up for it today, really enjoying the moment here, leading Manchester United 1-0. A needless foul by Michael Carrick, plays into City's hands really, topples over Balotelli, and City can take as much time as Mike Dean will allow them to here with this free kick. City are heading for the FA Cup final for the first time since the Ricky Villa final of 1981.
I think United will still get a chance, Mike. There's 3 minutes left. There's always going to be one opportunity. I think they'll get one.
How much difference might it have made, of course, as Wright Phillips now tries to steal down the City. Wright goes inside Vidic. Wright Phillips in the area, but Van der Sar smothers the ball with the save. I was going to say, how much difference might it have made if Hernandez had started the game. Barry, as Fabio gives the ball away. City still looking strong down the left-hand side. Barry's had a very good second half, and it's out of play for a City throw-in.
City will be kicking themselves. They're not outside. They've had 2 great opportunities. All he's got to do is slide the ball across. He's put it to Van der Sar. Wright Phillips has been great when he's come on.
Manchester City 1, United 0. Balotelli just hits it high into the City fans. They'll be reluctant to give the ball back, those City fans, away to our right. And indeed the ball hasn't been returned yet from the crowd. We'll need a replacement from the sideline here. We have just over a minute of added time to go here. The last minute of this FA Cup semi-final. Manchester City are almost there. Getting to the FA Cup final and winning an FA Cup semi-final is good enough. To beat Manchester United in the process just really adds the extra garnish. Hart now takes the ball, so many years in the shadow of Manchester United, but this could be their day. They lead through Yaya Touré's goal in the second half. Hart is taking a long time over the clearance, and you can't really blame him as he slams the ball down the left-hand side. Yaya Touré's there looking tired, and United win it, and as Robbie Savage has been saying, they may get one more chance to redeem themselves. Carrick's lost it, no he hasn't. He's found Nani, but there's no shape. Nani now to Fabio, they have to be quick. Fabio's deep ball to the far post. Hernandez with a header, great defending from Kompany. Anderson can knock it back in again with a wayward header though, and that might be it. Kompany was there again when it mattered. City now try and go forward. Back comes Anderson, and the whistle's gone for a foul by Balotelli, who hits the turf with his fist, and I make it we played the 4 minutes of added time. The ball is with Hernandez, chipped into the penalty area and headed back. Have I got my clock wrong? 5 minutes of added time. Sorry, 5 minutes of added time. So we still have another 40 seconds.
Oh, what is Joat doing there? He's rolled it out with a minute left. They lose possession.
United desperate to get the ball over on the far side for a throw-in.
Last chance.
Last chance saloon for Manchester United. So much on top for long periods in the first half. Missed great opportunities through Berbatov. All the crowd from City looking at Mike Dean, the referee. We still play on here as the ball is launched downfield. Hernandez jumping with Zabaleta. Both players miss it. Wright Phillips has to be careful and settles for touch. Seconds to go at Wembley. Seconds to go. Sir Alex Ferguson with a glum face sits and watches as Anderson finds Evra. Can Evra get the ball in the area? Park has a flick at it, but Kompany did just enough there for City. Ball on the edge of the area, foul by Fabio, and that I think is that. Free kick to City. Noel Gallagher here from Oasis doing cartwheels when City scored, and some might say his team are in the FA Cup final.
I didn't know you were an Oasis fan, mate. Yeah, as soon as Hart kicks it, that's going to be it. I think City have thoroughly deserved it. They have been magnificent this second half.
And there's the final whistle, and Manchester City end 30 years of hurt. They've still to win the FA Cup, of course, but they have reached the final. Their first FA Cup final for 30 years. Even more important to their fans, they've done it at the expense of the team in the city who have overshadowed them for so many years. This the day at Wembley. The noisy neighbours have finally arrived. City 1, United 0. Yaya Touré's goal will bring Manchester City back to Wembley in 4 weeks' time for the FA Cup final under Roberto Mancini. And we're just watching things just spilling over a little down there between 2 or 3 of the United players and also Mario Balotelli as well. Incidents at the end of the game, down to Mike Sewell.
Well, there's something going on between Anderson and Mario Balotelli, and Anderson is having to be held back here by Edin Dzeko, and Van der Sar is now trying to hold off Rio Ferdinand, and Balotelli is being pulled over to the touchline, as you can probably see, and now he's celebrating with Vincent Kompany. But initially it looked like Anderson and Balotelli were having problems with each other.
I know what happened. I was watching there, Mike. What happened was that Balotelli ran, not aggressively, but certainly moved towards the Manchester United fans and was pulling at his shirt. and Anderson immediately objected and ran over and pushed him away, shoved him in the back, and then Ferdinand came over and Van der Sar as well. That's what happened at the end, and that's why the Manchester City players have dragged Balotelli into their half, away to our right, to celebrate along with the Manchester City fans, who are going absolutely wild, Graham Taylor, and you can understand why. They're in the cup final and they have beaten Manchester United, and the tension in the last, I mean, you know, you and I are neutrals here, strictly neutral. The tension in the last 15 minutes was unbelievable.
Of course it was, because either side, you know, you're thinking Manchester United pushing on, reputation for coming at the end, winning games as well, breaks by Manchester City, chances for them, so the tension was there right in this stadium. And of course, when the final whistle blows, goodness knows how many years of hurt, but you can feel it. And at the present time, we've got Wembley Stadium half full with the blue of Manchester City really making their feelings known.
The Manchester United end is emptying rapidly. It's a nightmare journey back to the northwest. They might as well get a head start, but the City fans are going nowhere because the City players are way to the goal in which Yaya Toure scored the winner. Company was immense, wasn't he? Yaya Toure, Lescott had a good game when they needed to. Joe Hart, great save, a little hand onto the Nani free kick onto the crossbar, in the way that Roberto Mancini, any Italian, would like his team. They were defensively durable when they needed to be.
Yes, and I think that has also been...
Let's go down onto the pitch and hear from Roberto Mancini.
Roberto, is the right word bellissimo?
More than bellissimo. Fantastic. But I think that it's for these supporters. But we don't forget that it's only the semi-final.
Only the semi-final? You've just beaten your great rivals. You haven't been there for 30 years.
The semi-final. We miss another game.
How determined were you today? Because you didn't start well, did you?
For me, second half we played a fantastic game. We played as a team. We played very strong. Every player.
You've won cups in Italy. I think 6 Coppa Italias you won as a player. What does this mean?
I repeat, one game more for these people.
Thank you.
Mike Seal there, Roberto Mancini. I just saw Shea Given, who's injured, of course, giving Joe Hart a big hug out there. Interesting that, Graham. He was immediately exultant. Then he had to sort of retreat into the professional stance of it's only a semi-final. You win nothing just by reaching a final. But you try telling these fans it means just reaching a final.
Of course, I mean, for Manchester City, as I say, just reaching a final is something they've not done for years. And so I totally understand Mancini when you get asked these questions. But for the Manchester City supporters, the club, this is a big moment.
Mike Shields with Joe Hart now.
How does that feel, Joe? You've made it to an FA Cup final.
Feels amazing, something I've never done myself personally. And, you know, we've won nothing yet, but I think we just want to enjoy the moment. A great goal from Yaya and everyone's happy.
What about these fans today? About these supporters?
That's who it's for, you know. It's great for us to get to a final, but it hurt, you know. They've got a lot of skip from our City rivals, and it's nice to win the game and get to the final. But like I say, we've done nothing yet.
You were key to that victory. I know the goal was key, but you made a couple of very important saves.
Yeah, happy to make saves. Yaya's gone through and won us the game. But it's just not, you know, there's so much you can pick out. Jolin's interception at the end, everything, you know, fantastic.
The save you made from Berbatov was probably the most important part of the game, because it could have been very different at the start.
I don't even know where it hit me, I just know it hit me. And that's what I'm happy about.
Just being soaked by some water from Adam Johnson. Thank you, Joe Hart.
Yeah, I can see, Mike. Oh, your nice suit, Mike. That's going to have to go to the cleaners. Send the dry cleaners bill, care of the City of Manchester Stadium. They won't mind. Adam Johnson's taken his shirt off, a very white torso, walking towards us, applauding the City fans as they sing Blue Moon. Manchester City into their first FA Cup final since 1981. A famous game, Graham, of course, where Tommy Hutchinson, the famous first game, scored at both ends. Ricky Villa scored a memorable goal. John Bond's team, but it was Tottenham's FA Cup. Wow, it's amazing to think when you bear in mind how much Manchester United have won in between. Here's the goal scorer, though, with Mike.
Man of the match, Yaya Toure. You've been there and done it with Barcelona. What does this mean to you?
Oh, yeah, fantastic, you know, because the club don't invest to at the moment, and you have to work hard, you know, it's not easy, you know, and I think this win today is big win, it's fantastic, and I think until the finale we wait to make the history of this cup. Yeah.
Talk us through the goal, Yaya. Talk us through the goal.
Oh, after the interception, I take the ball, I go once against one again with the Vidic, And I think I'm very lucky, because I take the ball and I shoot, because I know it's very hard to score a goal against United, and today, I think the second half you play very well and you press them high and I consider the winning, yeah.
Do you know the words to Blue Moon?
Sorry?
Do you know the words to Blue Moon?
Oh, it's the son of the fans, Today the fans, they are very happy. And the long time the club and the fans and the player will need the story, And I think we happy with the fans, and I think the story is not finished. We have to continue like that and win something for this club this year, yeah.
You're now in an FA Cup final. What does it mean for a player from outside the UK to play in that game?
Oh, fantastic, because long time is my dream, I said all the time when I was playing against different club, I said I want to come to England to make history, and I think for me it will be fantastic, And if I win the FA Cup, it will be my first time, and I'll be very happy to win that time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Mike. Thank you very much. Well, his brother Colo, of course, will tell him all about playing in the FA Cup final and winning it. So what do we say then? We can't really say it's the day Manchester City arrived, because they haven't won anything yet. They haven't finished in the top 4 yet. But can we say that they are further along the road? Are they getting there, Graham?
It doesn't matter whether you've got all the money to spend in the world. You have to take time to build a team. And I've always said you need 3 seasons as a manager to be able to say, this is my player, this is my team, now judge me.
Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. Manchester City in the FA Cup final. They play Bolton or Stoke. We'll bring you that final tomorrow from 4 o'clock, plus Celtic Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup semi for the right to meet Motherwell in the final. Now, though, Robbie is here at Wembley, Mark Chapman too. Time to get your calls in, particularly if you like to sing Blue Moon, surely. It's time for 606.